Hey everybody, it's Monday night. It is the new class. It is Codenames Live, the best comedy game show on the internet. And it's been a busy week, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So we're gonna see how much we can get done here. Right now, my chat is in 44 size font because I'm right on top of things. I am super on top of everything. Guys, welcome to Monday night. Welcome to Codenames Live. As you know, on Monday nights, I invite people that I love and adore, or people that I wish I knew, or people that I'd like to meet. Just the best people in my life, whether they know it or not. And I ask them to bring their friends, and then we play some Codenames. Tonight, over in the Red Captain Corner, a man I've been watching week in and week out for 10 years. His podcast, his inexcusably long podcasts, yeah, a man after my own heart. Video games I played, and quite frankly, if he hasn't played a board game or told me to buy a board game, it takes me a lot longer to buy it. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Ham is here. What's up, Richard?
Hey, everybody. How you doing? I would just like to declare I have grown this mustache out special for this episode, and I would like to issue a challenge to Grant. The losing team must shave their mustache.
Oh, damn. I can't take that because now that is a $500 challenge for me because I just headshots with this mustache.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, it doesn't matter what I want to lose. This thing is going tomorrow. I do not understand how you live with this lip caterpillar. It's insane.
So basically, he's thrown down a challenge that's really expensive for you and worthless for him.
Yeah.
Aren't you excited?
I'm not gonna.
Come on.
If we're being completely honest, though, Richard, you look great.
You look good. Honestly. And I gotta tell you, there's no better way to creep out people when you're eating than to get food.
All right, well, Richard, the tradition on Monday nights is I invite somebody that I'd like to hang out with and spend an evening with, and I ask them to bring somebody that they love and adore and would like to spend the evening with, but more importantly, someone who they think will help them win the game. Richard, who's that person for you?
The man sitting directly below me is Shea Parker of RTFN. He's a fellow YouTube board game media personality. He's also a frequent contributor on my channel. He is the best of us, and I believe his middle initial is C, and I don't know what that stands for, even now that we've been working over a year.
I like to keep an air of mystery about myself.
Yeah.
Can't just, give out all the secrets. I also love being introduced like this. This is so much better than having to introduce yourself.
Right?
I'm going to have to ensure that happens every time I guest on someone else's stream.
Did I have long and introduce you?
It's always better to get
That's
introduced.
exactly. I know you're my boss, but
yeah, and I mean the comedians, the other team will be able to vouch for this. But as a comedian, it's like I never go anywhere. It's like if you want me to talk to people, you're going to need to introduce me. I don't go up by myself. You go up and you say I'm coming. I must be announced like royalty. So yeah, but Shea, I'm super pumped that you're here. Obviously,
I'm glad to be here too.
4 or 5 years ago, I found you the same way everybody else found you because you're the only person who was talking TI properly. And so we're like, hey, Twilight Imperium sounds cool. And then I watched your videos and I'm like, this is enough for me to know that that's a cool game and I don't have to play it anymore. So thank you for that. You have saved me massive, massive days of playing a game. But
this is the thing. I love TI4, but I fully accept that it is not for everybody. So if I can save people time either from learning it or from avoiding it, that's a win for me.
Fantastic and like something I would absolutely enjoy. But it's also one of those things where it's like, if I'm wrong, that's a long time to be wrong. But yeah, obviously, once Richard said, I'm going to bring more people on, and then I saw it was you, I'm like, oh, good. We're finally going to see games where somebody is mean to other people every once in a while, which is Richard's trademark. So, are you mean sometimes? We don't like that game. I want to be smarter and make you feel dumb, but I don't want to be mean. I don't want a game where I'm mean. I just want to outsmart you, which is where I live too.
Yeah, I don't have a huge problem with that. I'm kind of okay with it sometimes.
Over in the blue captain corner, she's been here before, and it's been I've been trying to get her back for a while. One of my favorite comics, one of the best comics working today. Ladies and gentlemen, Christina Walkinshaw is back. What's up, Christina?
Hi, everybody. How are you?
I'm very excited that you're back. Like I said, people have been asking about you for a while.
Oh, that's so nice. And just like Richard, I grew out my mustache for this show.
And if you guys lose, you have to shave it, which is such a shame.
Oh my God. I like fondling mine. I could just like pet it, just like a professor.
It's very nice.
I think if I got a little closer to the camera, you can see under the right lights, I look like Chuck Norris. Can you see that?
Uncanny.
Oh, well.
Absolutely uncanny. Did you? Yeah, I think you just smudged the camera.
No, I just walked a Twitch room.
Christina, as you know, on Monday nights, I invite somebody that I want to hang out with, and I ask them to bring someone they love and adore and want to spend time with, and more importantly, someone who will help them win the game. Christina, who did you bring?
I feel like I brought a ringer this time because I know last time I was paired up with somebody who could barely figure out Skype, let alone the game. So this time I had to go big or go home. So I picked hilarious comedian and actual board game creator, inventor, Grant Lyon.
What's up, Grant?
Hey,
Welcome back.
hello. One thing I would like to point out is you can tell Christina and I have been doing Zoom comedy shows for the last year and a half because we understand the comedic value of getting close to.
I thought you were going to point out that.
It's kind of a clutch.
But I thought you were going to point out that you
Yeah.
guys you've been making your money and paying rent by doing Zoom shows for the last year and a half, which is why you were sat in front of high quality equipment on great Zoom sets.
Yeah.
You mean the microphone that I got that I don't even remember to plug in?
It's hilarious to me that you have a microphone because we're so clearly coming through that laptop.
Is it not? No, it's not. Oh, well.
Grant, it's good to have you back. But we do have one more stop before we get this show on the road. So everybody, let's head on over to Mod Corner. And that right there is Sam Murdoch, Suited Monkey, our mod, our favorite mod, our only mod. What's up, Sam?
Good. I just happened to peek over at my second monitor where I keep the chat, and I noticed Shea waving back at me, and that's a first. And I appreciate that.
Nobody ever says hi to
Nobody
Sam.
ever
It's so
waves
funny.
back to the mod.
They're so
Wow,
mean.
everyone on the
also
show is
Shay,
rude.
Monday nights are a little bit nicer for Sam because Mod Corner is where Sam takes over and he talks about what happened in the game and what's happening in the chat. And historically, that's his role that we don't let him do because we just talk to each other and have fun. But Sam, a lot of people showed up early and a couple of people are new. Can you let me know what's going on in the chat?
A lot of the regular Jigsaw Nerd, Janathi, Stupid Monkey, Jigsaw wondering what's going on with the game board, and for anyone who missed it, Galaxy Trucker, another game from CGE, is having their 15-year anniversary.
15 minutes. Oh, it says it somewhere?
No, literally, it just says in 2007. Yeah,
Oh.
it tells me what year it. I just did the math.
2021, I think.
What year are we in?
That's still.
I mean,
So 14-year anniversary.
Yeah,
it's still a
something-
birthday
I
of some
don't know.
kind.
Brianna Schman just
Time has
just,
been different
grabbed another
for a couple years.
just resubbed, so you're getting up there, which brings us to that Codenames card underneath Sam's face asking, is Sam getting paid this month? No he is not, but it's early in the month, so don't worry about it. We will get you there. Sam gets paid based on your subscriptions, and when you subscribe here, you get the emotes, you get the badge, and I feel bad that that's all you get when you subscribe. So Sam, what else do we give them when they subscribe? Because that's just a nice thing to do. Speaking of which, Given No Fox dropping 5 subs right now. Thank you, Fox. But Sam,
I just got.
you just got one.
They get access to the newsletter. And all you have to do there is just tell me, hey, I'm subbed. I'll see the little badge beside you, and I'll shoot you a message and say, hey, Here's
And when you
access to the
access that
newsletter.
newsletter, you're going to get a bunch of articles from us about our favorite entertainment of the month, books we like, movies we like, music we've been listening to. But most importantly, at the bottom of that newsletter is our contest. You send us an email and we draw, and at the end of the month we send you stuff. Last month it was gift cards to Amazon. There was my birthday gift bag the month before that. This month it'll be one of my favorite board games. So this one's a really good one to get into because I have a bad habit of not liking a lot of cheap games. So this is a good one to win. So sign up for the newsletter. That's one of the things we gift you if you subscribe to us. 'Cause, again, we feel bad enough that we're taking your money. However, thanks for it because it does help us pay Sam. And I'm not getting any of these in my headphones, but it's still running through Given No Foxes stuff. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, nothing new. It's still going through
very nice.
the drop.
Sam, I think that's it. Yes. Also, regular
I think
peeps,
so too.
Hi,
I think we're
welcome
ready
to the show. And then Catalyst and a bunch of people followed before the show. Hopefully they're here now. By the way, if you're new to the show, the chat is absolutely go nuts in there. You are allowed to give answers, hints, do whatever you want. There's no such thing as cheating because if we've learned anything after 5,000 games of Codenames, it's that our spy masters aren't smart enough to have given a clue for you to figure out. So you can give as many answers as you want. You're probably wrong. But yeah, so underneath Sam's face is that card. We're going to be keeping track of that throughout the game. Hopefully we reach 60 today. If we don't, no big deal. We got till the end of the month. But until then, Sam, we're going to visit you in between rounds. But for now, we're going to head back to the game. So everybody say bye to Sam. Bye, Sam.
Bye, Sam.
All right, let's get to it. Welcome to Codenames Live, the
Before we
best
do-
game show on the internet, period, the end. There are no better game shows, and if you can find a better game show, let me know, because I like game shows. I'll watch that shit with you. That'll be good. But this is Codenames Live, based on the board game Codenames, which is made by our sponsors, CGE. Thank you, CGE, for sponsoring the show. And by the way, if you don't already own Codenames, just pick up a copy. It's like $15 or $20. You can get it at Walmart, Amazon, get it wherever you want. It is the most versatile party game on the planet. You can play it silently, quietly with a couple of friends. You can play it loud with a bunch of friends the way we do. And you can get shipped to your house tomorrow if you got Prime. So you should get that done. But if you don't, yes,
Tim,
sir.
Should you not have an Amazon affiliate link you can give to the people right now so they can give you a little kickback after all that Codenames love?
I write an extensively large and well illustrated newsletter because of how much I hate kickbacks and taking people's money. But yes, I should have affiliate link somewhere, and I do not. However, you should still. That shouldn't stop you guys. You should own Codenames. But if the reason you don't
Everyone
have Codenames
should.
yet is because you don't want people in your house, I get that. So you can play with your friends at codenames.game, which is the way we're playing. So if you like what you're seeing tonight and you want to play like this with your friends, then you can head on over to codenames.game, and then you can play the same way we do. So yep, thank you CGE for all of that. Grant, we're at your favorite part, so if you want to take a nap, we are in the 7 minutes of explaining how Codenames works. Codenames is a spy game about two spy teams, a blue spy team and a red spy team, and they're infiltrating a location trying to pull off a mission with the help of assets already on the ground. I like to imagine the scene in True Lies, where there's a big party at the big bad guy's mansion, really big house with a circle driveway, and there's like people got all of their Bentleys and shit, and they're handing their keys to valets, that kind of a party, and you go up a lot of stairs, and the party's in the lobby, that's how big the house is, and there's two stairs that go to the same place, because that's how rich he is. They're like, I don't care about square footage, put two staircases in here, let's do this shit. That big of a house. And then in the backyard there's a private lake, and out of the lake a scuba diver comes out of there, and they take the scuba suit off, and it's the spy. He's wearing a tuxedo or a ball gown, and they go into the party where all of those people are partying, and it's like he belongs there. He's like all handsome and shit, and he's pulling champagne glasses off of butler's trays, dancing with pretty people, but he's scoping out the place trying to find his assets so he can pull off the mission to defeat the bad guy. But the only person who knows who his assets are is the spy master. That's the Tom Arnold character. He's back in the van. He's hacked in all the cameras. He's checking out all the screens. And he's talking to him through the earpiece. And he's like, hey, I'm going to tell you who the assets are, but the other team is just as technologically advanced, and so he can't just say whatever he wants because they're going to be intercepting all of their communications. So that's why they have to speak in code names. That's what I want you to picture. I want you to picture all 4 of these people in ball gowns and tuxedos doing fancy stuff at a big fancy party, not just sitting in their houses in front of their screens playing a board game on the internet. But obviously, it's just a word game. These 25 cards in the middle of the board, they have 25 words on them. Those are the people at the party and their code names. The Spy Master is going to try to get the Spy Operative to choose as many of their cards as fast as possible, but they're going to do that by giving a single word clue and a number telling their operatives how many cards match that clue. For example, if 3 of the cards that they wanted their operative to choose were cat, dog, and mouse, they would give a clue like animals 3, and then the operative would look at all 25 cards, see that only 3 of the cards relate to the word animal, cat, dog, and mouse, and then they would choose those. Then we'd move on to the next team who would do the same thing, and we'd go back and forth until somebody finds all of their cards. Obviously, it's not going to be that easy. None of these cards are going to match as well as cat, dog, and mouse. They're going to need to get clever. They're going to get creative with their links. They're going to try to find interesting ways to connect them to a single word. So a clue like Animals 3 would more likely point to cards like Squid, Phoenix, and Drummer. Because a squid's an animal, Phoenix is a city, but it's also a mythological animal, and the drummer from The Muppet Show was named Animal. Those are the types of connections our spy masters are going to need to make to have their operatives choose as many cards as fast as possible. But this game isn't about connecting cards. This game is about connecting cards for your partner. It doesn't matter if you can connect all of your cards to the book Moby Dick if your partner hasn't read the book Moby Dick. That may be a clever clue, but it is not a good clue because your partner won't know what you're talking about. So make sure you cater your clues for your partner. There's a little bit of danger here. There is an assassin at this party. One of these cards is the Deadly Assassin card, and should they choose that card, the game would end automatically. That team would lose, and we would make fun of them, so try not to do that. Obviously, everybody here knows how to play the game. Everyone at home knows how to play this game. All of this was just to buy a little bit more time for our spy masters to come up with their first clue, but that time is up. So let's play Codenames. The red team captain is Rahdo. He will be the spy master for the first round. Christina is the spy master for the blue team. Richard, you were about to say nice things about me, and I interrupted it. Go ahead.
At this point, I've completely lost track, or the will to live.
Very nice.
I'll tell you, Tim. One of these days, I'm gonna buy an animal drummer costume and just come onto the show.
We have a couple of T-shirts. Yeah, you've got to do that. But we were trying to get one designed where there was a squid playing drums in Phoenix. And just have
that would be awesome.
But right now, all we have is Squid Phoenix drummer in black on a white shirt. That's all we've got so far. But yes, it is time for the first round. And Richard, you have the first go. Have you got a clue for me?
I am ready to put the big green.
I would just say, Richard, this is a big start to the show, so don't blow it.
Let's see the clue.
I feel terrible, actually. Because I've had like a half an hour looking at this, and I do have an incredibly ballsy move, but I'm going to keep that in my back pocket for now. I'm going to start out with something a little safe, a little pedestrian, maybe.
Let's see it.
That's not a hint, by the way.
Furniture 2. Furniture 2. Talk me through it.
All right, I gotta look for some furniture here now. Well, table obviously is furniture because it is obviously that. Looking for the second furniture though. I mean, one thing I know is that centaurs have a difficult time with furniture.
Centaur, a very famous card in Codenames Live, but I don't think it's got anything to do with this one.
I mean, like, furniture often comes in boxes. You need flat pack furniture.
Caesar had furniture.
I've heard it said that he did.
There's furniture in the kitchen. You can polish furniture. Piano is furniture.
For some reason, literally every time I play Codenames, the word polish always comes up for me. And I never see it as polish. I only see it as Polish.
I saw it as Polish as well, which I shouldn't be saying because that's kind of giving something away there.
Yeah, quick reminder, if you can see the colors of the cards, you're not allowed to talk.
All right, I'm gonna start with table because I
Very
feel pretty
nice.
confident about that. All right.
Ooh, Tim's
Table,
wearing
I
a
got
Centaur
it.
shirt right now. Ah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that last one.
That's what he's talking
Play
about.
it safe.
We gotta have center next.
If you want some.
I'm gonna go box because every time I box, every time I talk about Kia boxes, I'm gonna go box. Let's see how it goes.
Look, I'm talking, but I was
Man, what the hell happened?
That makes me rethink going for my big ballsy move, I have to admit now.
Oh, I just lost all confidence in my Spy Master.
Okay, I need to ask something from the chat. Did the echo just start, guys? Man, I thought that they did a great job fixing that, and now it looks like they went reverted. So it just started? Huh. God damn it. I was so excited for Skype, and now I'm less excited. Okay, cool. I mean, we could talk about that later. But we're over to the blue team. Christina, it is time for your first clue.
Okay.
Have you got a clue for me?
All right. Well, I had a good idea for my clue, but now I'm scared that my clue, I might have to drop down a number because
Give me a second. Skype.
Oh,
is
this is the
being
Galaxy
stupid.
Trucker art, isn't it?
But Grant was asking if this is new art. No, it's Galaxy Trucker is celebrating their anniversary.
Oh, that's Galaxy Trucker art. That's what you were referring to earlier.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were just like fans of Galaxy Trucker and you wanted to bring it up.
That as well, but no, this is straight from them.
Got
it. So I guess yes, I do. Kinky too.
Grant knows how my mind works. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we all know where this is going.
well, I would have put Kinky 3, but we lost Box.
You're welcome.
Hey, OTG, what's up?
All right. So, rope, tie, both potential kinky things.
I mean, if you know your mythology, centaurs are like traditionally the kinkiest of all mythological creatures.
What?
That's not even a lie.
Not on the channels I watch.
Rome, those bathhouses were steamy, and I do mean that double entendre. Come on. Racket, I love a little racket foreplay. Hand, I mean, you can get pretty kinky with your hands. Just use the things your God gave you. You know what I mean? It's all you need. But
I don't know what you mean. Grant, explain it in detail.
Softly and with reverb.
It's a good time to mention my podcast is called Jill and Off.
yeah,
We'd like to thank Family Board Game Company CGE for sponsoring the show.
Janathi's trying to give me some grief in the chat, saying satyrs are probably kinkier. Maybe. I'll grant you that a little bit, but satyrs and centaurs are basically the same thing.
Yeah. I hear
add a couple
ya.
extra legs on it.
That happens
on a
all the
satyr.
time.
You have given this a lot of thought. This is not just rolling smoothly.
Yeah.
Wow. I warned the they had a bet going on the side, and they were giving me 10-1 odds, and they were all fools.
It's
you 10-1 odds to beat this, to beat us.
It's early days. We're
Go
good.
figure.
Richard, have you got your next clue ready?
I mean,
Oh
yay,
yes,
Grant.
hold on.
Woohoo!
I will say a fun thing about being a board game like YouTuber is that everyone thinks that you're really good at board games. I don't know about you, Richard. For me, that is not the case.
I am. Go ahead.
Yeah,
It's a big 4.
Ooh.
I have to.
Gladiator.
I have to.
4.
All
I'm
right.
not excited about this at all.
I can think of a few. Gladiator, Rome, obviously. Caesar makes sense. Is there?
Well, Jason.
Oh, what was the other one?
Yeah,
Sand and
Jason
Pit.
Momoa
I'm looking at.
was showing off his peen in the sand and blood or whatever. What was it called? The Showtime show before he
I didn't
did,
see that
Game
one.
of Thrones.
Oh.
Blood and Sand, like Gladiator Blood and Sand or something like that.
Jason Momoa is the kind of guy who's in more things than you think.
Jason Momoa is in Gladiator on Showtime. Are you sure?
The Blood
With
and
Lawless?
Blood and Sand, the one where the main the actor who played the main character died.
Oh no, I'm thinking of
Yeah,
Spartacus.
well, that's what.
Never mind.
Spartacus,
Never mind.
Blood and Sand, isn't it? The TV show. He was in the first season with the guy who the actor who unfortunately died.
Wow, I need to go back and watch.
Yeah, especially because you get to see his junk
Through the lens of Aquaman.
He doesn't wear anything underneath his thing. He's got a belt and those feathers that come down or whatever, those leather flaps, and that's it.
So if anyone wasn't sold on the show beforehand, I don't know why they're not watching it right now. But in the meantime, for the two people who are still on the stream, I'm gonna click Caesar. And then let's go to Rome. And then pretty sure about Sand and Pit.
Oh, Pit is blue. No.
Sand and
no,
Pit.
Pits are for Sarlacc.
They're in the pit. They're in the fighting pit.
I am not
just
entertained.
saying that. Ugh.
I got 3 out of 4. That's pretty good. Although I am clearly
Mary
a double
Moo is
A.
still here, despite us letting her know that there is a place you can stream Jason Momoa jumping around naked. I'm really surprised there are still people watching because people are like, really?
I appreciate the dedication.
Yeah.
Well, you know what is nice? I can watch Jason Momoa naked on my phone while I'm doing the stream.
Isn't it great to live now?
And the wonders of technology.
Yeah.
We are back over to the blue team. It is a much closer game than when we left you last. Do you have a clue for me?
I mean, do I have to? I like it better when the other team just gives us points.
I'm doing my best.
You got something for me, Christina?
Again, I'm a really big fan. I'm so happy to be here. Anything else like else?
It's like, oh wait, oh crap, hold on.
I can press it again if you want. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a big one.
It's another plug for my podcast.
Buzz
Julianoff.
one. So bad.
Well, I mean, you couldn't connect anything to Mosquito? Nothing?
Well, think about it. When you hear a buzz, what are you hearing it with? Your ear, obviously.
Well, I'm just...
Jigsaw Nerd is on my side.
Mosquito. Now you do have a bonus poke.
I don't... Yeah, and I would have used it if I had anything to go on.
All right, we are back over to the red team then. Richard. Blue team within 3 of winning, which is a doable feat.
Yeah.
Have you got a clue for me?
Yeah. Oh, so you
got another big play?
Like
no,
pressure?
I just figure that if I need to say 1 to 2 sentences to allow you the time to type without me going, you got something? And you're like, I haven't even typed yet.
I do have something.
Liquid 2. Now, did Richard go back to thinking Polish?
That's the thing. If it's Polish...
I take that by
So yeah, Polish is a liquid. Well, one thing I know is mercury is liquid of temperature. So I do feel pretty good about mercury. Curry is a liquid, unless it's curry powder. Or I don't know what you call it when it's like it's that really thick curry.
I just call that curry, Shea, but
I feel like you're just...
Yeah, that is that curry consistency, you know?
I literally feel like you're showing off because you're like, I know facts about mercury and I'm cultured and I eat curry.
I need to make sure people know I'm smart because I've gotten 2 wrong answers already. So I'm going to do whatever I can to get back in people's minds.
of course, if you really want to go down the brainier
all
path
right.
here, is it mercury and the only way to connect mercury with well was liquid? And oh, by the way, if somebody can throw up
There
the
is
laws
water
now
in
that Shea
the
is
well.
thinking about my suggestion, somebody throw up the Codenames laws, please. These, much like Murphy's Law, are always true.
All right. Liquid in the well. Yay. I think. Go with your gut. All right, I'll go with that. Well, I'll go with the gut that I have developed now that you gave me a better answer than the one I was thinking of. So my new gut says mercury. And then there's liquid in the well. So there's water. What's water in the well?
No, again,
it's where you
Shea.
get your.
Shea.
Was not your freaking gut.
The third law of Codenames.
You were talking into that.
We are back.
I mean,
Oh, I didn't read that far.
Yeah, I know.
I
them
read
all.
the
No,
first
no,
one, and then I thought I knew what they are. Here's the thing: I went with my gut. It was the first law, and my gut said I know what the rest
we
of
are
the laws
back
are.
over to Christina.
Hey, at least it wasn't blue.
I mean,
Look,
to be fair,
give me a high.
Who do you?
If we like round, give me a high number. I'll get them.
You can use the infinity symbol if you want to. Yeah.
and to be fair,
I don't know. I'm getting nervous
All
now.
right,
you go.
Christina, have you got a clue loaded for me?
I would like to say, to be fair to Shea, the entire purpose
That's
of
true.
a well is to get liquid. That is why wells exist.
All right, Christina, you ready to
Oh.
go?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna take off my Canada hoodie and show off my Maui t-shirt. This is how Canadians dress. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know. I'm getting nervous. I can't hit another 1-1, can I?
You can do
I'll be
whatever you
the
want.
biggest-
At the rate
No,
we're going,
You
that's a
can.
pretty
No,
safe bet for
can.
you.
All right,
Yeah.
Christina, if I
I
play
don't
this
know.
up,
Okay
bet
right
you
now.
is there a clue
Here's the
loaded?
cards on the board.
Not yet. I'm typing right now.
Okay.
I got
What's up, Lindsay?
it.
We're celebrating Galaxy Trucker's 15th anniversary.
Oh no! Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay. Oh, this is so lame. I'm such a loser. Oh, God.
It's a big one.
If I lose a oneer,
Stove won.
I can show my.
Yeah, I mean, Christina, I get that you want to have good television and you want to keep them in this game,
Stretch,
okay? But
stretch.
Much
there's
appreciated.
no way. Yeah, there's no way we're gonna win if it's just a single clue every time.
I don't know that that's
We
true.
don't know. We're in the lead right now,
Because
Grant.
literally
Don't
over
worry, I'll give you
4%
some
of your
extra inch
answers
next
were
round.
I know that's what I like.
She should. Yeah, she's just letting the rope out little bit by little bit so we can have.
That's it. That's all I'm doing. Rachel, you're the
Well,
supply master,
You
Grant.
cook a
And
lot.
we'll see how you feel.
You cook a lot of vegetables on the stove, and vegetables are green, and that is not the answer. But I would like Christina to sweat it a little bit right now. The answer is clearly kitchen.
I don't know. You gotta polish the stove.
Now you do have a
somehow,
bonus
you know.
poke, although
Oh.
there's no reason to use it.
Yeah.
No, there's not.
Stop,
I'll
bro.
call it out next
You're
time.
gonna
Don't worry.
Use the bonus poke.
All right, Richard, while you're typing, I don't know what your intent is, but Sam, if you could throw up the infinity rules in
It
the
needs to
chat,
be full.
please. Sometimes when a team has given a lot of clues and has not found a lot of them, later on in the game, they might use the infinity symbol instead of a number, which is still a single word clue, and then an infinity symbol as the number, which will allow their teammate to keep choosing so long as they keep finding the right cards so they can go back to old clues and finding that out. The only danger with an infinity clue is it won't tell their partner how many cards match the current clue because it could connect more than one card. With 4 left, it is advisable if you can't connect at least 3 of the cards to use the infinity clue, but if you
And I
can,
can't.
then don't use infinity, use 3. That being said, Richard, have you got a clue for me? You didn't need to listen to
wasn't
me.
listening at all. I feel
It's
like you
just
used
the
the
infinity
infinity
clue if you can't connect more than 2.
Oh yes. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, He has not gotten anything. We could not be more
I was like, what's
anti-simpatico.
antipatico? Is it antipatico?
Antipatico. We could not be more antipatico. Which is a great word. Antipatico 3. No. All right. Jeez Louise. All right. And so you're suggesting that this is our last chance. I should go.
Now,
with the
Christina
infinity.
can't connect more than one card at a time.
What?
You've
You
still
know
got
what?
another couple rounds.
Oh, you wait, bitches. I'm coming for you.
Oh, that's true. It's true. I'm going up against a oneer. I totally forgot that. Good point. Good point. All right. I've never done it in real life, so I'm going to...
Shiny, Infinity, and for Lindsay and Shea's benefit.
Shiny.
Previous red clues include Furniture, Gladiator, and Liquid.
All right. Polish seems like a thing. You polish something, it gets shiny. Makes sense. Pianos get pretty shiny. And there's a furniture thing. Pianos, you could be a piece of furniture. Sure, why not? That's that. And then we were talking about, I should have picked curry earlier. I should have gone with my gut. That's obviously, and curry can get really shiny, get that layer of oil on top. So that's nice and shiny. One more. I can do it. Let's see. Tap is, if it's like like a faucet, like a tap, that can be kind of shiny. I was a bartender. I know that taps, you gotta shine them. Other thing that I was thinking about was the thing from like what was it, Gladiator, like Minotaur.
There's
could be
only
like
one
fighting
Minotaur,
Gladiator.
and
That's
he
not,
didn't fight
like,
gladiators. He hung out.
real
in the
gladiators
labyrinth
didn't do
waiting.
that. Exactly.
But does Richard know that? That's the important question.
So, but does Richard know that? I don't know your mythology.
I'm actually looking at the card on my screen using all the quantum physics that I can bring to bear.
All right, I'm going to get my geometry brain activated. So I'm going to look at your picture and then angle that towards your screen. Well, I definitely feel good about these three, and then we're going to wing it for the last one. So,
a Polish piano.
Polish piano.
Curry is not liquid.
Dear
Lord.
But for once,
why were you telling me to go with my guts?
We didn't give them anything.
So good.
I call that
is
a win.
It is now a tie game, Christina.
Okay, everybody.
Have you got a clue
Here
for
I
me?
go. I'm getting nuts now. I'm getting real wild. Here we go, Grant.
Noise 2. Ooh. Noise 2. Aw, man, I didn't hit up Codenames Live's bot sub. He doesn't have the emotes. I'm going to have to get to that. Ugh. Noise 2. Grant?
Well, ear is good for noise. Anthem, when people sing stuff, it gets pretty loud. But cable, if you're doing like headphones or that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with
you
ear.
Have synesthesia, sure. You can hear green times.
Oh yeah. A racket, making a racket, right? That's a good one too. That's a good one from the chat. Cable noise. That is cable. Well, I've got a few different ones here. I feel like it could be hand, it could be cable, it could be racket, but I feel like Christina is a curmudgeon at heart, just like me, and would totally use the phrase "keep that racket down." So I'm going with racket.
Racket is blue. Team wins.
Does anybody have a hint or freaking Minotaur in hand?
Okay, Richard, we will yell at Shea together over in Mod Corner.
We're gonna send a picture of this to Casey Corbin.
All right, Sam Murdoch.
Minotaur, yeah, I could have gone. Where was I going to get hand from?
The hand was for the first line. It was the freaking...
The first one was furniture, Richard.
No, okay, the second one. Yeah, the second. Yes.
Gladiator, yeah.
I
the thumbs up,
knew
thumbs
Pitt
down
was
thing,
there,
all right.
and I had to take a chance after our disastrous first line when you. What did you? A box? Did you grow up in a box? Did you think I was talking about
all of my furniture gets shipped in a box?
Okay, I'm a millennial, all right? I get my furniture at IKEA because I can't afford anything else. I have seen so many boxes.
It's all flat pack all the time, Richard.
Yep.
All right, we'll turn it around in a second.
I mean, there's nothing to really talk to Christina about because she was only ever giving a clue for one card at a time. So
I mean, you see the way I went out with the huge thing too.
It was very, very exciting when you said 2.
Woo!
It was a perfect bookend.
good on
Opened
you.
with a 2, 1, 1, 2.
Also, I would like to say, I mean, how many times has a team won a game of Codenames without ever giving more than 2
It's happened
on
a few
clue?
times,
All
but
right?
I'm going to be very
I'm
honest
glad
with
I
you
could
guys.
help be part of that.
Only on Mondays. It only ever happens on Mondays.
Makes sense.
Grant, whenever you're ready. Sam, tell me about the chat. Who was with Richard here? Who knew what Richard was talking about, and also who was keeping you entertained?
Well, as usual with our chat, nobody was on the same thought pattern as the guests. Jen and I were discussing Moana and how I confused Taika Waititi with Jermaine Clement.
Well, they're pretty much the same. One sings better.
Yeah, that's the difference. The other made Thor. Otherwise, the whole chat was keeping me amused the whole time. We've got Peter Gavans pointing out that Tim Curry is mostly made of liquid.
Yeah, we're all like 90% water.
I love how, once again, the chat is being very, very generous to our team and saying that this won't be a total shutout today. But I don't know where they're getting this confidence because I do not share it. What is it in the water?
Yeah, it's
And I'm
3-1 right now for people who think that it won't be a shutout, and there is one holdout who's pretty sure.
Wow, I love the positive energy y'all are sending at me.
It's very good. My parents apparently are staying at my aunts and uncles. So hi, Uncle Danny. Hi, Aunt Linda. I guess my brother kicked them out. They were visiting my brother, but I guess they're not there anymore.
And Grant, your friend Tolkien fan forever, says hello.
Oh, hey, nice to see you. Thanks for being here.
Also, you can see that Richard and Shea and Christina very active on the internet because although you can hear them speak, they're still typing in the chat.
I want to thank the chat for encouraging me to crack this box of wine. I feel like it's really good.
Christina,
It's going to improve my game a lot. I'm going to start taking more risks
It makes people less judgmental if you just call it a juice box.
I don't know if Christina moved or her camera got cropped weird, but I can only see her ear.
Skype and me are in an argument right now, and so we're just really not going to... Yeah.
You just have to take what you get.
We're just fighting right now. Let me fix this.
It's one of my best.
And it really is best ear.
Yeah, totally.
So.
Don't let me know if you want me to put on some earrings.
You only need one. You're good.
But other than that, Sam, we're at 31 out of 60, so we're already halfway there. If you have some friends you think would be having a good time, or more importantly, if you have board game friends who weren't aware of who our guests are tonight, you should probably let them know. They're going to be mad if they're like, this is the one I missed, because we're having a very, very good time. I think everybody is good to go. So, Sam, we will see you after this game, but we have to find out if Red Team is going to force a tiebreaker or if Blue Team is going to sweep. So we'll come back once we find that out. But for now, everybody say bye to Sam. Bye, Sam. All right, we are back at it, and the spy masters for this round, the red team will be Shea, and the blue team will have Grant as their spy master, and Shea will be going first. Shea, have you got a clue for me? All right, let's see.
I do have a clue for you.
Mythology 2.
All right.
It's kind of like a callback to the last one.
Yeah.
Minute.
That's good. That's just good writing. Yeah.
Yeah. I had options. I figured I would go with the most poetic
Also,
one.
thanks,
Now he's breaking the rules.
Jay
There you go.
Snauer.
So you just can't trust Red any
Thanks for following. I didn't even notice that. But yes, Richard, since Christina seems to be letting you have the floor here.
Let's see here. Well, obviously, dragon is, last I knew, a mythological creature. Although it looked very real in Shang-Chi, which we just watched last night. Had a great time with that on the big screen. But I need to move on. The fundamental problem is, as was discussed right up front, Shea won't even tell me his middle name. So that just gives you some idea of the gulf between us, even though we work together.
We win this one, I'll tell you my middle name.
Now you've given me a reason to fight on.
There
Let's
we
see.
Tim.
So, mythological creatures. Pigs are not mythological. Skyscrapers, not mythological.
Christina, if we win, I promise to never ask your middle name.
So nerdy, anyways.
All right. Witches. There was some debate about that at once upon a time, whether they were mythological or real. That's where I'm leaning right now. I almost go with Sherwood, but it's that's not really myth, is it? Is Robin Hood myth and legend? No, I'll just go with witch, I think, unless I'm just totally blind and I'm missing something. One last quick scan. Rubber duckies, no. Spine pants, no. Science, that's clearly a myth, no. We are on the red team after all, so I'm just trying to get in character there. Oh my, I just got topical. Yeah, I'm just going to go with my gut because I've heard that was a rule. Let's start with
law,
dragons.
like Murphy's Law.
All right. And that worked out really well for him. Okay, and my number 2, I will say, witches
Also
were
red.
in fact.
Now you do have a bonus poke if you want to use that.
I do. Because no,
there's no reason to use it.
that would be a fool's move. So I am done
All right,
guessing.
we are over to the blue team. Grant, it is time for your first clue of the game. And as somebody said to Richard half an hour ago, this is your first clue of the game. You better make it a good one.
Yeah, you can make me guess like 6.
I made it a freaking fantastic one. It was the freaking slam dunk. Furniture.
Boy.
Furniture. Box.
Look,
Box.
I love
It's
when
an
my
instrument.
me. So
Do I look
am
Swedish
okay.
to you?
All right, Grant, are you ready?
Yep.
Ocean 2.
Oh, okay. You're an ocean. Settle down. What's the commotion? Okay. Wow. Let's see here.
That was 80s song because none of us knew what you just did.
Isn't that a song
Is
from
that
the mid-90s or like early 2000? You're an ocean. Fastball.
Fastball had another
What?
song?
I've heard the song.
I don't think so.
I thought they only had the old people walking down the road song.
Guys, I'll tell you what. I feel like I'm no genius, but I feel like where there's an ocean, there's a beach. How do we feel about a little bit?
I like that.
Beach.
Guys, stop fighting in the chat, please. Beach.
That is. Are they? Beach. Oh. I hear some snark. Crab and beach.
Oh, crabby
see
beaches.
Oh no, people are ganging up on somebody. Oh no, don't gang up on
No,
anybody. You guys.
stop.
Okay, what else do we think? Let's see here. Let's see. Pig, flute. No, I don't. Oh, guess what? I feel like if you're by the ocean, you might
Eat cake.
see a crab. Oh no! I'm the new Richard. Oh no, wait, that is ours.
What?
Never mind. Forget it. I forgot.
Oh. I'm still the old Richard.
And now,
Why did I think it was?
Christina,
What?
I thought it was your card, and then it was blue. I'm not colorblind, I swear.
you,
I also don't know.
yeah.
Go ahead.
You have a bonus
Sorry,
poke if you
Tim.
want, Christina.
I have a bonus
Yeah,
poke.
if you want to take it. I wouldn't.
Also,
What could possibly go
Well,
wrong?
if I was gonna poke, Grant, if I was gonna go for a bonus poke,
You shouldn't.
I should. I know, but I'm just letting you know.
I
I
mean, you
would have.
could.
I'm not going to because I'm a big, huge weenie. I would have gone with bridge. Just
Yeah,
so you
lots
know.
of bridges over the ocean.
Like a bridge over troubled water.
Yeah.
Not that
Also-
right. Maybe not the whole ocean.
Peter G. Evans just pick wheelchair.
also
Remember that
what
bridge that goes
happened-
from LA to Maui? I would have like.
You have to give up the board, Christina.
I'm not-
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, and guessing. Okay.
I'm not giving away anything here, but I am interested to go over what went through Christina's mind, because you read in the chat and you were like ocean and crab, and then you were like yeah, and then you moved on, and then you came like the way you said it. It was like, well, that obviously
All right,
can't be
Sam,
it, and then
take
you
a
still
note. We'll
clicked it.
talk about it in Mod Corner. That'll be our
I got
first question.
distracted because people were picking on somebody in the chat. I was like, oh no, somebody's getting
No,
picked on.
there's a fight because everybody's being well, they're doing what we do, except that it's hard. It's harder to get friendly sarcasm in text than it is here.
I know. It's impossible. I got trolled on Substack a couple weeks ago. You can't not get me
No.
on. That fucking Substack. Who gets trolled on Substack?
Shay, have you got a clue for me? Let's see it.
I do have a clue.
All right.
Plants 3. Ooh. Plants 3.
Ooh, this is where we turn it all around.
Yeah.
Or we stay on the same disastrous course. Okay.
My job is done. It's now on the ball's in your court.
You're doing a fantastic job, Shay, because my eye is immediately drawn to root. It is immediately drawn to mustard. Because mustards
seeds, yeah.
are plants.
Not like a maple
They are totally
or
plants.
Sherwood or a rubber tree.
What? Oh, God. Surrounded rubber tree. Okay. One of those is the assassin, I'm sure. Right. Okay. Sherwood is silliness. And rule number 3, don't listen to
Never
Tim.
listen to Tim.
Or law number 3. It is, in fact, the law. So, yeah, what else am I missing? Anything? No planty flutes. No planty pants. Although I'm just drawn to pants now.
Well, because it's most
Pants
of
plants.
the letters of plants.
It is. I think there's a rule against that kind
the
of clue,
has
isn't there?
to be about the meaning of the word, not the structure of the word.
Exactly. So I know Shay is Mr. Staying on the straight and narrow, so he would never do that, although I just so want to click on pants now.
I might not be good at this game, but I do know how it's played.
You know what I just did? I just twirled my
Isn't
mustache
it
a
the
little
best?
For the
Isn't
first
it
time.
You
bit.
got
I
to
didn't
keep
know
it.
it was here. I just kind of stumbled across it, and I was like, oh, look at that.
Richard, you get. I mean,
now.
Grant could back me up on this, but you get free reign of this mustache until November 30th.
Well, that's
Because
That's
it's for charity. So you can live with this until November 30th
Oh, that's
to
right, I
figure
forgot
out
about that.
if you want to
I
live
just-
with it
just
longer.
get its head. I don't know. I think the chat will have to.
Ooh, yes, that'll
chime
be
in
our
on
next
that.
vote,
But
Sam. Or the first vote during the speed rounds.
I would like to point out that our next non-binding vote, for the record. Okay,
Yes.
I am done
Let-
goofing around.
Why let your wife give you advice? Take advice from random strangers on how you live.
Always. Okay. We're not messing around. It is root. It is mustard. It is maple, and I
That
am
was
done.
incredible.
Whoa,
Wow.
that was hot.
That's how you.
That
play
is one of the
Codenames.
ways you can play
Wow.
Codenames, yes.
That is not how I played Codenames up till now.
We are back over to Grant. Grant, do you have an answer to that?
Do I have an answer? I mean, I could give you the answers if you'd like.
Thank you,
I
Lindsay.
do have a
We are
clue.
turning it around.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I'm ready.
I'm scared. Oh, Babe,
Babe
2.
2.
All right.
Back in New
I'm
York.
scared it was going to be like Babe 6. All right, well,
Right.
guys.
Obviously, that's a chance.
Okay, I feel like, I mean, Pig, obviously, right? Because Babe's a pig. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the chat now. Yeah, oh, yeah, Pig. We got to go for Pig. And then Babe. Let's see here. Hopefully you don't think anybody in your family's a babe. If you met a babe, you might use a rubber, or you might not.
Just meeting them?
That's how Grant rolls.
I was going to be like, whatever. I spent a lot of time on Tinder. Don't judge me. Trick. Babes like tricks. I'm going to Trick Pig. Somebody else likes Trick too. Babe. Let's see.
Well, the trick pig was Wilbur, not Babe.
Babe. Babe, sabotage, bridge. No, rubber, trick. I don't know. It could be like a babe could be a girl that's running some tricks.
Or
I don't think of.
It could very well
a
be.
lot of people. My dad dropping code bucks to say family.
Why is everybody like family and babes?
Because you bring forth a babe from your loins.
Like a baby.
Like a baby.
Oh, you know what? I do notice people in relationships always call each other babe. Hey, babe.
You know people in relationships? You're so lucky.
Oh, no, do you know those people?
No,
That's
I don't know
gross.
them.
I have never been able to pull off babe. That just does not work.
I've never been able to call somebody babe either. It's not my jam.
Unless ironically, of course, babe.
Yeah. What do you guys think, chat? Okay, some people like Dennis.
Mazel Tov Cocktail coming in with his progressiveness.
Oh wait,
I think
this
Mazel
guy
Tov
here.
Cocktail has a very important message that needs to be shared far and
100%.
wide, and I agree 100%.
Dentists can be both female and babes.
I like this guy in the chat. This Louis guy, he calls his wife. It looks like a 4-letter word after 43 years. I don't
That
think it's
Louis
babe.
guy is my dad.
Who shall hereafter be known as that Louis guy at Thanksgiving.
What if I was just like Moscow?
You can choose whatever you want. It is your game.
All right, I'm gonna go. What do you
You
guys
can also
think?
end guessing if you're
I
not
think
sure.
it's family. What was
You
that?
can also end guessing if you're not sure.
Ugh, I don't want to be that person. It's so lame.
You can come back to it later.
You could be that person. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're going to do, he's not going to give me a 5 next turn. You can always come back
Well,
to
he
it.
can't
It's not
give you a
going
5.
anywhere.
You only have 4 left.
And now,
You don't know me. You
Okay.
watch me.
I'm gonna go with
Watch me.
family. I'm doing it.
No, why would you pick family? What a dumb idea.
wow, I thought for sure that was correct.
I'm just saying, you guys got
I
some
know,
weird
right?
fucking families, all right?
Okay, babe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Your wife is not. That person ain't related to you. That's not family. That's the family you choose, not the family you were born with. If you call them the family you're born with, babe, I don't want to be at your
as long as
Thanksgiving.
I didn't just hey babe the assassin, I don't give a fuck.
Oh my God, that was your dentist?
Although assassins can be female and they can be
That is
babes.
true.
I think that's very important.
We're back over to Shea. You are still in the lead here. Have you got a clue for me?
I'm working
He was
on one.
literally stroking his chin a second ago. And I don't think it was ironically. I think he was just subconsciously doing it.
This is, yeah.
I do that without thinking about it. It's true. All right. Yeah. All right. I got a clue.
Arc 2.
Oh. Okay. I believe that's Arch.
Yeah. Some people pronounce it Arch. This person.
Arch 2. Wow. Well, obviously, Bob, bridges are arcs, apparently, in some people's pronunciation. And just a 2, huh? Alrighty. your spine can be sort of arch-shaped. Particularly if things aren't going well for you, they can get very archy. But you're too young to worry about such things.
Yeah,
so
we're too young to know who Archie is.
You don't know my back.
Yeah. Skyscrapers get arches on them a lot. You know, the arches that connect two skyscrapers. I'm really, really, really drawn towards that. And what the heck? Poll ended. Yes, it is glorious. The stash should be kept. 57%. You people don't know me. I think Jen might cast the deciding vote on that one.
Always,
my wife.
Always.
Let's see. I don't know. All right. Just to get this off my chest, let's bridge it up. And now another arch. Chat, help me out. I have not actually thought to look to you for advice before, and I'm sure I'll have to wait 10 to 15 seconds.
A lot of them are saying spine, and I would just ignore them. You should arch your spine. Maybe arching your back. Yeah, maybe arch your back.
Yeah, I was joking about it, but it is definitely a possibility.
If you do a bridge, if you do that gymnastics body bridge, that's literally arching your back.
Yeah, I'm literally I was joking originally, but now I'm actually really drawn to it.
Jen is like, no, don't listen to Tim. Here are the laws again.
Shoot! I wasn't actually looking. That was Team talking.
Oh, by the way, first time chat, Andrew Scott jumped in and is like, spine. I'm following. I am chatting for the first time ever because Richard needs to pick spine.
He feels that passionate about it.
I will follow, and just because I need you to pick spine. So we can blame this on Andrew Scott.
All right. Well, all right. Andrew Scott 71, whoever you are, wherever you are, this one's for you.
It is fine. Andrew Scott helping Richard out. Now, Richard, you do have a bonus poke if you think there's something.
I do have a bonus. Yeah. If we'd had a failure from earlier.
All right, let me just wire $50 to Andrew Scott.
I think I can.
All right, with 2 left, it puts a lot of pressure on Grant Lyon here. Grant, 2 is, I mean, it's not impossible, but that they'll miss, but it's not likely. So, have you got some Hail Mary play here? Some amazing clue you've been holding on to? All right, let's see.
I got an idea.
Ooh, it's a big 4
for all.
Hot 4. This is enough to win.
OMG. Okay. Crap. Okay, well, guess what? Maybe I'm old lady Magoo again, but there are such things as hot pants.
They're my favorite kind of pants.
Right? Like
hot pants and jellies? Yes, I went to elementary school in those years. All
right, so that's pretty hot. And I don't think it's very hot in Moscow. I don't know if it's hot.
We were just talking about dentists are female and babes.
They're babe dentists.
Hot dentists.
I know. I also have to think that they still have there's still a babe on here somewhere on the board. So babe, hot. Let's see here. Is an analysis hot? A flute might be hot after you blow on it for a long time.
How do you play the flute?
Hotly.
I blow real hard.
Oh, Amphibious T-Rex says rubber. Hot rubber. Oh, rubber's hot. I guess, yeah, rubber could be hot.
Rubber could get hot, right? We could burn rubber.
Burn rubber.
I actually want to help now and give real suggestions, but I won't.
Actually, Richard, the best way to do subterfuge is to include the right answers with all of your wrong answers. That way they don't trust anything you said.
Ah, I see. You're an expert.
Yeah, we've played a couple of games of this. Yeah.
A hot trick. If it was a hat trick, hot trick.
Both my parents are hot scientists and hot dentists. I think just because of the meta of the game, the fact that we were just talking about hot dentists, I feel like might have something to do with it.
I think that you're trying to make me hit the assassin.
No, I honestly I prefer actually.
It is good television if it is the assassin. So that is something to bear in mind.
My animation, that's true.
Okay, I'm going to the chat. Okay, we are getting some votes for.
It's not getting votes. Just read the chat, Christina. They've been
helping. She demands a poll. It must run for 3 minutes, and people can use their bits
Yes.
to enhance their votes.
If you want Christina to choose dentist, we'll need 500 bits. So if we get to 500 bits, she will choose
Wow,
dentist.
you have just opened up an entirely new monetization scheme for your show.
There's a lot of votes for hot scientist and hot dentist.
Yeah.
There's lots of. I'm still gonna call them votes. I don't care if they're called comments or chats. I'm gonna call them votes. Okay. So I'm gonna go for it.
No, it's not scientist.
Everybody
Nobody
knows it's
said
not
scientist.
a scientist.
Yeah, we will talk about
Not
it in
your
chat.
thing.
Clearly established earlier that scientists can never be hot.
Excuse me, the guy who calls his wife a cunt said hot scientist. Right there, check
That
the
was in
chat,
there.
bro.
Yeah, I know it's in
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh.
Yes.
there. Yeah.
This is not a Rahdo
This is not
chat,
a Rahdo
I have
group
to say.
chat.
You're running a different moderation scheme
No,
to me.
I know my dad said hot scientist, but we don't listen to my dad. We never listen to my dad.
Sort of by the transitive property of
Yes,
don't listen to Tim, you can
it's
also
genetic.
not listen to Tim's dad.
Shay,
Yeah.
you could win the game here and force the tiebreaker around.
Yeah, no, he will. He will win.
right.
I think we will.
Let's see it.
I think we will.
PowerPoint 2.
Oh, nice.
So.
Oh, no.
Okay. Oh, I like that. That is so geeky. That is wonderful.
No, I know.
That is all about computer screens and
Obviously,
analysis.
Moscow.
That's just done. That's just done. I'm not even going to
Red
mince
team
around.
wins!
I love that.
Go with your gut.
All right, let's head on over to Mod Corner and find out why Christina didn't
Who
choose
voted
dentist.
against us?
And I knew with Trick, I was going to go with the babe and the Trick. Oh, well.
Oh, you said every one of our clues multiple times and then never picked
Well,
up.
who were the babes?
Babe was Pig and Trick because Babe, the pig, was known for doing tricks. So I figured if she got Pig, she would also get
Well,
Trick.
sorry, I haven't seen the movie Babe in 17 years.
Yeah.
And babe did
That's
tricks.
not in your weekly rotation?
Yeah.
Okay.
It
I guess some people don't
remember
appreciate
the darker,
classics,
senior side of the movie Babe, where he was actually out turning tricks. That'll do, Pig.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Sam, have you got any questions?
There was one you wanted me to ask.
There was something early
It's
on
been wiped
where
from my brain.
Grant wanted to know why she said crab and then didn't choose crab for a while.
Yes.
It was crab, okay.
I
Ugh.
got
And then-
distracted because I was reading the drama in the chat. I got a little distracted with the Twitch that somebody was getting picked
Yeah, we were
on.
getting a
So then it
little
was-
feisty.
I went to that planet instead of that planet sometimes.
It was a hot chat
Yeah.
for a little while. Was
Yeah.
that one of your hot references, Grant? What were
hot
the other
chat.
hot things?
Hot was exactly because of what everybody was talking about in the chat. Dentist. Literally everybody was saying dentist in the chat. So I was like, okay, well, she'll obviously click this one. I felt like hot. I had to go big there, and I was like, okay. Well, she mentioned rubber and tricks for like prostitutes and things like that. So hot, like that's kind of like attractive, right? And then hot pants, and then hot dentist because it was all up in the chat.
All up in the chat.
All up in the
can't
chat.
trust. Oh, well, oopsies. Well, guess what? I guess the game goes on.
Yep.
But that's what I mean. I mean,
That's drama.
That all the things we were talking about, Christina.
I didn't know that you were in cahoots with the chat. though.
Anybody can
I
be
had
the
no
spy
idea.
master from now on. There's no longer a
I
signed spy
nominate
master.
Shay.
Sam, tell me about the
Don't take
chat.
backsies.
I'm clearly better at
obviously,
Spy
I think
Master.
people have realized that we're just having funsies. No, but and if anybody's being mean to people, fucking cut it out. What the fuck?
I'm here to stand up for the chat.
But
people.
tell me more. We've got some new people in here, and they're like dropping in and just like pick
I was
this
gonna
card.
say,
You're
yeah.
right.
Yeah, you could coin as the spy
They
master.
come in, they give the correct answer, and then they never say anything else.
Oh, wow!
Uh,
The predictions have shifted.
Wait,
Grant
Jack-
is now in the
Massively.
lead.
Somebody
Somebody
just dropped a
ton.
ton of.
It's still close,
points on that.
8.1K to 7.5K. It's still a close bet.
That was all.
I'm telling you,
Jinx
all
on
the
her.
drama of the show is in the predictions.
Oh yeah, the predictions are amazing.
Jigsaw Nerd has bet 8,000 points on Grant winning.
Oh, Corey, I'm going to be the
Really?
Spy Master again? Okay. All right.
Oh my God,
Versus
Jigsaw
7
Nerd
people
says,
have put a combined
And
That's
3,000.
8,000 points they can't spend on life advice from Tim.
yeah,
Tim will not say their name. Oh,
so many things.
Richard, you want me
Yes,
to be
I
Spy
do.
Master again? Since I'm clearly bad at picking
and
up
I'm
hints.
clearly bad at giving them.
Yeah, so Tim pointed out if the pig could talk, he was worth a lot more than he was for herding, which is true. Which reminds me of like the worst, the most horrible, terrible joke I've ever heard, which was about a three-legged pig that could outrun a car. Do you guys know this joke? It's awful.
I feel
It's
like I've
awful.
heard it.
So
Hate it. It's
there's a guy
frickin'
driving down the
worst.
highway, and his wife like pokes him, and like, "What's this?" And they look out, and there's a three-legged pig, but it's keeping up with the car. And he's like, "Okay, that's weird." So he speeds up more, and he keeps running. It just keeps catching up, and then it passes him, and he's like, "What?" And it turns into a farm. So he's like, "Well, we got to go check that out." And so they go and check it out, and they're like, "We just saw. Oh yeah, the pig. Yeah, the pig. He runs really, really fast." He does a lot of other things too. Like he can talk, he draws, he babysits the kids. He's one of the most amazing pigs we've ever seen. It's like that's incredible. Is it because he's three-legged? Was he always three-legged? He's like, no, he wasn't three-legged before. I was like, well, how come he has 3 legs now? He's like, well, you don't eat a pig like that all at once.
Oh.
I've heard so many different variations of that joke, and every single one of them
it's just
like makes
a
me
very
sad.
sad joke.
Okay, now Tim, I want to give you my favorite silly
please.
joke to reset the room here. Okay, what's the difference between a gross bus stop and a lobster with a boob job?
Oh, I know this one actually.
One of them is a crusty. One of them is a crusty bus station. The other's a busty crustacean. One of them's a crusty bus station. The other's a busty
Better
crustacean.
on the second telling.
Oh Lord,
Yeah.
Sam,
It all.
who's playing already?
What?
I
Oh,
didn't
wow.
know it was me.
We're not even on that screen right now, Christina.
We're not?
Have you been
We're
hacked?
still
Christina's like,
in
I'm ready
my
to
corner.
go. Enough with these jokes.
All right, well, we got to go back to the game. Christina's
I
already
think
started.
Oopsie.
Sorry, Sam. We're done
Yeah.
with you, I guess. Once somebody has won the show, we will come back. We will talk to you. We'll talk about this tag underneath your face and the Patreon and all of that fun stuff. But for now, everybody say bye to Sam. Bye, Sam.
Did I just give Sam the light and I didn't know it?
Yeah. You 100%. So, Christina,
Right
you
now.
are the spy master for the blue team, and Shea is the spy master for the red team. Blue team will go first. Christina, have you got a clue for me? I sure do. Let's see it. History 2. All right, Grant, talk me through it.
All right. Well, I'm looking at revolution here because there are a lot of revolutions throughout history, so that feels like a pretty, safe bet. But I don't know what's in Christina's brain
Maybe
for the
you just
second one.
Read
So
about the revolution in a history book, because everything else is like life in Mexico, and a big
True.
meteor is what killed the dinosaurs in history.
yeah,
You're saying Mexico
Not at
doesn't
all.
have history?
No,
Racist.
we made sure to erase
Ooh.
that.
Ah, very good.
I mean, I do
Wow.
think
If
if
it-
it,
just got
If it wasn't
topical
for
all over
board
again.
games starting with the letter T, we would know nothing about that region.
I mean, I do think Big Meteor is a decent one for history, but I also feel like Christina went book.
What, because it was right next to the other one? Is that all you think of her? You don't think she can look a little bit further than just
No.
one card? No, you don't think she can. Okay.
I mean, Boxer Revolution, that's a Canadian thing, right? Boxer Revolution, so maybe she went with that. But that's the example of know
Yeah.
your part. You give a clue because I don't know what the
two-sided.
Boxer Revolution
Is Christina Canadian? Yes. Is the Boxer Revolution something Canadians care about? Is another.
Am I?
Look, I have a whole section of history books here,
Yeah.
Christina. So I'm sitting next to a lot of history books.
Those are just props for your show.
Book is
Mine are all
blue.
journals.
Book
All right.
is blue.
Journals.
So yeah, it's confirmed. Mexico doesn't have any history.
Yep.
We are back over to the red team, and it is Shea. Shea, have you got a clue for me?
I got it.
Detergent 3.
It was a little early on the gun there, but yeah.
Oh no, that's sexy times. Sexy soapy detergent is lovely, but then where do we go? Where do we go now? Lawyers, they're filthy, but no. You really shouldn't wash your leather with your other clothes. That would be bad. Life, deck, sheets. Okay, sheets. That's a
Rahdo, tell us what you really think about lawyers.
I'm sure they're good people doing the best they can. So they went in with all
Here's
the right
where-
reasons. Oh, hey, I didn't even see that. Laundry,
some of them.
Laundry detergent. Those are two great tastes that taste great together. So,
Don't eat Tide
Pods.
Pods. Richard, what are you doing?
that's for your generation.
Yeah,
Sorry,
eating Tide Pods and ass.
we Gen
right,
Xers.
Richard, I'm with you.
we never did
I
anything
agree.
foolish like
this generation's crazy.
All right. Am I missing anything? Don't want to waste the big three
It wasn't a
because I want to win this thing.
3 is not. We don't celebrate 3s.
Well, I celebrate you, Shay. I don't care what
I
Tim
appreciate
says.
that.
Yeah, it's all about the soap
Soap is red.
because Shay is not old enough to remember the excellent Billy Crystal series from the 70s. That's not happening. It is all about laundry. And is it sheets?
Detergent
Am I missing
sheets,
something
maybe.
here?
My brain, this is how stupid my brain is, but I'm like big meteor, like a
us
comet,
about your brain.
like that, like that powdered detergent comet.
Oh,
A comet, that's like a
Wow.
big meteor, right?
That is pretty good.
It's
That is
definitely
pretty
wrong.
good. Jigsaw Nerd says engine. Why did Jigsaw Nerd say engine?
Yeah.
You never put the soap in the gas. That's a Beverly Hills Cop.
That's a
yeah,
banana.
no, that's
tailpipe.
bananas. Yeah. I'm sorry, Jigsaw Nerd. I'm gonna stick with my gut because that's law
Sheet
number
is
1.
red.
Sheets. Yay! Bum, 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 bum.
Peter G.
Wow.
Evans reminding us that Jigsaw Nerd put all his money on blue.
Very good to know. Yes.
We are back over to Christina. Christina, have you got a clue for me?
No.
What do you mean, no? What have you been doing for the last 5 minutes?
I'm
Monitoring
looking at the
chat.
chat. I'm so getting nervous now. I don't want to be the basic bitch of Codenames getting one again. Okay. This is all right. Let's see here. This is what I'm gonna do. Okay. All right. I'm gonna. All right. Here we go. I'm doing it. Okay. Let's see.
Paradise 2.
It was such a great stinger, you had to play it twice.
Cheeseburgers. That's definitely one of them.
yeah.
That is.
Well, I mean,
I'll have to admit that is a good reference.
was
Cheeseburgers
the
in paradise.
Never mind.
No parrot heads? None of y'all are parrot heads?
So
I've been there. Cheeseburger in paradise. You
okay.
go to restaurants.
Mexico is known for their beaches. You know,
Jam is
Parrot.
heavenly.
parrots are on beaches and stuff like that. I mean,
The plant of the bird of
I can't
paradise
see.
looks like a parrot.
how glass half full is Christina? Is life
No,
paradise? Christina is a
Christina is streaming from
She
a
is
basement
Canadian.
right now.
What?
pretty.
That's why that goes up to my roof. I have a private rooftop patio.
Never mind. That
That does sound like paradise.
I live
Yeah.
in Williamsburg. Woo! I know everybody always thinks it's a basement, and that just is.
It might be because of there's no windows.
Oh yeah. Well, there are.
Yeah.
There's no windows and your very, very large NyQuil pills on the wall.
And your exposed light bulbs on the ceiling?
Yeah. She couldn't afford the exposed brick, but exposed bulbs was okay.
Exposed. I just changed.
Christina, did you know that everyone was going to be shitting on your apartment when you came in this?
That's one of her riders
Mexico
in the contract.
and Parrot, both blue. Have you got and not using the bonus poke? It's back to a tie game.
What has happened?
Shay,
We were the winning.
you were the winning. You are no longer. You are the
Yeah.
tied now.
We are the losing.
No, we're tied, and also they've had one more turn
All
than us.
right, Shay,
Fine.
have you got a clue for me?
What is it like tie? Do people consider tying?
Hey,
with us?
have
Mark,
a
how you
clue.
doing, buddy? Mark Street in the chat, everybody.
Hello.
All right, so you good to go?
All right, I got a clue. Yes.
Filthy 2.
Filthy. Oh well.
Filthy.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. I did mention earlier the lawyers are
Yeah,
filthy.
it could be the meta.
I made and Grant called it.
Those
out.
are good clues when you go on what everybody has been saying for the last 10 minutes. Those are generally good clues.
Let's take a couple
Yes.
of minutes.
Oh, really?
To,
You might want to work that out with your teammate ahead of time.
Love you, Christina.
Let's see. Engines are clearly filthy. No matter how much detergent
I feel like there
somebody
is
in the
engine
chat wants me
detergent,
to.
though. Like I
throw
think
in.
there is. I think that's a thing.
Is
I
it? Yeah,
only
that's a
know
way to.
because I think somebody's ride was pimped on a show with a rapper, and they had to use engine detergent or something.
Oh, that's good enough for me. That's a life lesson, which you folks can get for only 5,000 channel points. More life lessons.
Yes, the free
Tim.
life lesson is if you can smell you, everyone can smell you. It's one of the most important pieces of advice I've ever gotten in life.
Here's a pretty good one I'll give to you guys that you learned from being a comedian. If you wear pajamas, you can walk into any hotel
That's
and eat
true.
breakfast. You
I've
know?
done that. I've changed into sweatpants. Yep,
Have you ever tried that?
I've done that.
Oh, yeah. I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're staying at a bad hotel that doesn't give you free breakfast, just put on your pajamas and walk into a different hotel. Eat their
And you
breakfast.
just pick a
No,
random room.
you go into
No, you
the
just
where
walk in
the
there.
continental breakfast is being served. You don't get
Oh,
room
okay,
service.
okay, yeah. You don't actually sit down and order.
That's a much
Not just
wilder
that.
proposition.
I don't break.
It's almost
I've never broken down someone's hotel room door and
Grant,
stolen
I
their
think you're
food.
missing the scarier thing where it's just like, I thought I was doing pretty well. I thought you were doing pretty well. But Richard has only ever experienced hand-delivered food to his room.
Have people never gone to a hotel that has a restaurant in the hotel, and when you get the food, you have to give them your room number?
No,
It's
we
not
have
that
to get up
weird.
and out and go down to the dining room like peasants.
Yes, that's what I'm referring to when you go to the dining room. I got a silver spoon. God. Anyway, lawyers are filthy, has been clearly established. Engines are filthy. And
No,
I'll hedge my
engine
bets
is
in
not
engine at
filthy.
first. And what the
All right, it is
frickin'
back to the
fuck?
blue team, who is in the lead and has now just had Richard
you ever lifted
negate
the hood
the
of your
amount of
car?
people, the amount of
Do
clues.
you have Speed Racer's car?
There's something filthier on the board.
Oh,
Cows fart a lot.
Oh.
speaking of filthy.
Speaking of
it's my turn
filthy,
again.
Christina, have you got a clue for me?
Speaking of filthy, back to Christina. I'm getting nervous again.
Crack.
Whoa! Oh wait, that's why no one talks to comedians. You don't talk to the help.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Also, I don't like the hotel room. I don't like the continental breakfast. I don't get off on like a waffle maker and a hard boiled.
Nobody gets off on it, but it's better than nothing.
Ooh, someone's fancy.
By the way, by the way, I think you're lying. We're all fascinated by the pancake machine. There's not a single person that has ever walked in and went like, I don't even like pancakes that much, but we're having them because that big square robot in the corner will make them for you.
Oh crap! All right. Oh, I'm nervous.
good?
Oh no! I don't know what to do.
Type in a
What
word
do we
and
do?
then a number of how many cards match that word.
All right. Well,
Love the confidence.
It's fine. You're in the lead. You can do
yeah,
you can do
ones
a
are
one.
I
fine.
want to.
You're the queen of ones.
It worked so well for you last time.
That's your problem. You veered from your strategy.
Don't listen to him.
You let me know when you're ready.
No, Grant's right. Give him a 4.
Jigsaw Nerd asking is
Yeah.
if anyone goes to the buffet for the grape nuts. I don't know if I don't know if it's a Canadian thing because grape nuts weren't easy to find here, but the commercials make them sound so amazing that the first time I had grape nuts, I was very mad.
Who likes
That's when I
grape
found out it
nuts?
was like a fiber cereal you add to other cereal, because that's not what the commercial makes it seem like. It's the next fucking Fruit Loops.
No. My mom eats
Grape
grape
Loops?
grape nuts on her own.
Really?
She loves grape nuts.
All
Yeah.
right.
Christina, that's as much vamping as we can do. Have you got a clue for me?
Yeah, we're dry. We're talking about.
I don't know. Oh wait. Oh no, I'm gonna have to do a big one. I'm such a loser. Oh.
It's a big one. Shower.
I know.
One. What do you mean no? A big meteor shower,
Yeah, that's
or
all
my
right.
shower doesn't work, call a plumber.
Oh,
I love
Like,
when there's a clue for
this-
one that isn't clear.
I know, but it's not super obvious. How do you do a 1 and it's not so obvious?
Guys, I told you I'm the basic bitch of Codenames. I don't know what to tell you.
Also,
I'm just
Chris
gonna
is
get
here,
by.
charity board gamer. Can you do a shout out for Chris? And actually, Mark Street while you're at it. But Chris does incredible work for the community. So if you can go follow him, you're probably already following him from when he was on the show. But if you're not, go follow that guy.
On the other hand, though, he is talking crap about my mustache, and I worked
To
very
be
hard
fair,
on this mustache
yeah, that's
for
right.
2
Can
weeks.
you shout out charity board gamer, because this mustache has to stay at least until November 30th.
Well, I mean, look, it could very easily be meteor shower, but I feel like we didn't make that big of a leap, so I'm
Nope,
just
it was
going plumber.
definitely a big meteor shower. Over to the red team.
How do you
I
get
know.
a
Here's
1?
the worst part, Grant.
Imagine if I had
We'll come back to that later. I am very excited to find
Yeah.
out as well, because
Here's
I was
the worst
stumped.
part, Grant. Shea was upset because although it was tied, he hadn't given as many clues. And so when Richard dropped the ball on that last one, it put you guys in the lead because now you had the same amount of clues.
Yeah.
And Christina's like, nah, you guys have the lead back.
We don't want it.
Christina's just providing good content for the
this-
folks at home.
Christina
Well,
is
Tina,
that's why she that's why we always want her
Wait,
on
Ninjas
the
you're
show.
a terrible player, but you're a fun person.
Now, remember, Christina, when I have a bonus poke, I will be touching big meteor.
See, I'm
so
just
don't
planting
give
a
it-
You know how to get
bonus
bonus, folks. One clues.
One, yeah.
I'm just planting bonus pokes. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just like planting seeds.
All right, Shay, have you got a clue for me?
I have a clue for you.
This is it.
Beans 2.
Beans. Okay. So, beans make you fart. Cows fart. That is obvious. There's no
okay.
beans make a delicious lunchtime snack. That is undeniable.
Dear Lord.
And anybody who, although, does he mean green bean? No, that doesn't matter.
Shay, I don't know if I'm getting my money's worth.
What do you make vegan leather out of? Where does vegan leather
Probably
come from?
beans.
Is it beans? I don't know. I know it exists.
Shay, I don't look. I feel like I'm getting ripped off. We've been with Richard for an hour and a half now, and he's had some time to hem and haw over things. Not once has he said, "Oh, but it's interesting though," and I'm feeling very ripped off.
Do the shtick. You don't want the real me.
I want
the
you.
channel me.
At one point, I just wanted to go. Oh, but
Well,
it's
okay, so
interesting because
the interesting thing is what
because I
Jen would
said
really want to do in
fart,
this case.
cows
Ooh,
fart, but that might be
however.
gas, not cows.
I was not made aware that this is the only reason you
Just
have me
so
on
I
the
could
show.
hear,
To
but it's
perform to your wind-up monkey box.
no.
They don't care about us as people.
Yes.
They want the persona.
Yeah. That's good. That's good to know. That's good to know.
Yes,
Let's see.
Jen, we know.
Beans. Boxer beans, leather beans. No. Code beans? No, we're playing code names. Victory, deck, life, gas. Oh, beans of great gas. Of course they do. Again, it comes full circle back to parts.
Again, the chat getting mad that
Gas
the
is
chat was
also
giving it away because they liked you not seeing it. Then they got mad that I told you, which is fine because you weren't listening to either of us.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm still stinging from the I'm not living up to the societal
Just one-
expectations.
Oh, but it's interesting though.
Well, Tim wants it too much. I don't think you gotta tease that out.
True.
Let's see. Cows don't eat beans. Gas and lunch are probably the obvious ones. So we should just stick with the obvious ones. We will go with gas. We will go with
like that.
lunch. And now we will get sassy. It is time to revisit my shame because we all know that lawyers
They
are
sure
filthy.
are. What a great use of a bonus
Oh.
poke. It is now 4-2. Christina,
We turned it
little
all around.
ones are not
Okay.
going to help anymore.
No, I know.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. I'm going for.
One used last time, though.
Yeah, I'm
Just
getting
for the
all
record.
now.
Space 3. This is enough to win the game. Space 3.
Wow.
Hey,
Ooh,
Ray's
I
here.
like it.
Everybody say hi to Ray from Czech Games Edition. Also,
Hi,
she's
Ray.
Hello.
streaming
Hey.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ray.
Okay, well,
Wait,
big meteor.
no, I'm just
What?
wondering why Christina
What?
would give you a clue for Big Meteor.
Yep, that's what I was wondering.
Tuesday,
I-
and
it's a
Thursday,
trap.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the assassin.
I feel like sound is a decent one because there's the whole,
In space, no one can hear you.
there's
sound.
no sound in space. Yeah, exactly. Space Jam, pretty popular movie.
Haven't heard of it.
Christina already brought up the 90s multiple times on this show, so I feel like
I think she's got more of an 80s vibe in her outfit, though, really.
All right.
I got my little bar calendar here where I wrote. Oh, never mind. I won't bring it up. Actually.
Probably shouldn't show us all your appointments on the calendar.
All right.
I wrote Codenames on there, but I wrote it so
This is
messy.
in Christina doxed herself.
I wrote Codenames so messy on my calendar. It looks like cock names. It's a new game we can play next week, Tim, if
Ooh,
you want to try.
please.
Cock names.
I feel like, all right, so I have sound, life could be a space thing, you know?
The deck of the
I feel like-
Starship Enterprise.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go sound because that was
it
my
was not
first.
sound. We are
thing.
over to Red Shea. It is a tie
Yes.
game, but you only need to connect two
Oh,
more
my goodness.
cards.
Jay, give me a 5.
Alright.
Oh, wait. How does this game work? Okay.
Gonna get all of ours, gonna get all of theirs,
Nice.
and the secret agent.
Have you got a clue for me?
Hold
And
on.
also,
Yes,
Ray, to
I
answer
do.
your
do.
question, the game is going as well as I could have hoped.
It'd be better, Ray,
So-
if Vlada could have shown up. That would
Vlad,
have been nice.
I think Vlad
but-
is in bed by the time we start. So
No excuse. I've got a clue, and
no,
this
you don't get to
hold on,
qualify your
beans.
clue.
delete things.
Richard,
All the filthy beans.
Richard, can I interest you in the
Can I interest
assassin?
you in
okay?
cheating? Hide and seek. Hide and seek.
Hide and seek.
It's hyphenated. It's
That's
one
it's the
that's one
classic
word.
hide
That
and
is
seek.
clearly one word.
That's what the hyphens are
Yeah,
for.
that makes
Mm-hmm.
3 words into one. Hide and seek. Forge doesn't
I
really
believe
help
in you, Richard.
much. What the heck are you thinking?
I believe in
Do
you.
I need to refresh this?
I believe in you.
Am I missing something?
I'm also
Have-
missing
has
it.
My
I'm
screen
missing it too.
updated? Okay. Hide and
Well,
seek.
let's hope he doesn't miss the assassin. Oh boy, I'm retired. All right, come on.
Let's see. So Batman is really sneaky.
Sure is.
So he plays hide and seek with the bad guys. And also, somebody in the chat pointed out earlier that bats can be filthy. Oh. Am I wrong?
At Shea, not
Was
you.
Yeah, I like that Shea was like, let's be as cerebral as possible right at the finish line.
Yeah, because he knows his
Who wants a peek inside my brain right now?
Cheating.
Who's cheating? How do you cheat?
But I think he's
Not
Shea.
that
I hope you're cheating, and this is too clever for Richard to pick up on. Because if it is, I think this is brilliant. But I don't know. We'll see.
Well, now I feel even stupider.
I feel like if they're cheating, we should just end the game now and give Blue.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing. The way that I thought I was cheating is, I think, not the way that you think that I'm cheating.
There are so many ways that Shea could cheat.
Yeah.
Hide and seek. All right, well, I don't see some super crazy clever thing, but in every contest, there must be a loser. So, who's her?
Oh.
What the?
Christina,
chat, do you have anything for me?
The chat's been
Mary
saying
Moo
things to you the whole
88,
time.
Don't leave now.
Bye, Mary Moo. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh, wow. So you tan the hide to make leather. Wow. Very good freaking call. Whoever, Lindsay and Charity and lots of people smarter than me. Wow. I feel even stupider now that I didn't think of that myself. And I just admitted it.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought too. But Shea's like, no, now they're overthinking it.
It in itself is cheating.
I know.
He's giving clues.
Very aware.
All right. And
we're working on it, Brianna Schman.
So then if leather, cows also have hides. But then, he could have just said hide. He didn't have to say hide and seek to pull cow and leather together. There was no reason to do that.
Maybe he wanted a little drama. Everybody loves it. He works for TNT. We know drama.
Oh, I love that Mary Moo's like, I gotta go. It's a late night, but she's like, but no, I gotta stay because bats use echolocation, and that's how they
Mary.
seek.
Stay with
Bats
me.
can
I need you.
With echolocation.
Right, audience. Bat is echolocation. Helps with hide and seek. Oh, that is very... Mary, you can go to bed now. Or whatever it is you're planning to do. Gosh darn it. Wow. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to test the waters. I'm just going to try out some
it is
leather.
not leather. We were too clever. Red team. Christina's celebrating already.
Oh my God, this is how I like to win by default.
Christina's like, this is my jam. I got to give a clue for one card.
Very
I got this, yo. Christina?
This is my favorite anyways, is to only have to give one clue.
You good to go?
I agree, Lindsay. Cows are filthy.
Document one.
That could be anything.
Does anybody in the chat think it's not file? Is there file?
I got nothing.
I'm going for it.
Blue
Come
team
on.
wins!
Yeah.
Right.
Woo!
Now let's head on over to Mod Corner so Shea can explain what happened.
That was a real cool runnings trip at the finish line right there.
Yep.
All right, Sam,
so here's the
Victory
thing.
bat for hide and seek. I was right.
It
with
was
victory.
It was victory and bat.
And bat was echolocation for hide and seek.
Yeah. Okay. Bat was originally filthy because
And it was.
Bats are filthy.
Yeah, that has been established.
Because of the current state of the world. Yeah.
Bats are because of this current state of the world, which is because of how filthy bats are. Victory. I was trying to connect bat and victory, so I thought Maggie got it perfect.
Game.
Bats have echolocation that help them find
Mary
things.
Moo?
Well, no, I had
victory.
Batman as a ninja thing. I had
Mary,
that too.
Yeah, no, that was right. And then someone said hide and seek. I'm like, oh, that would have been real smart if I had those words and then thought of
That's
hide.
what I thought
but
you were
didn't
doing. I'm
think
like,
of those
oh,
things.
wow,
that
that was really
yeah.
cool. Also, my favorite is
Yeah, as soon as somebody, so literally, chat lost
no,
this. For
you
us.
lost this all by yourself.
Yeah,
Those
They
thanks,
bats.
totally
chat.
pushed the leather agenda.
Boy,
I was all about Batman being a ninja and wing in a victory in a game you play. I literally had it right. My freaking gut was
Can
right.
someone put the laws
Well,
up again
so
to remind
there's-
Richard how he should have been playing?
There's
Indeed. There are
There's
laws
a bit of,
for a reason.
there's a bit of controversy in the chat. And here's the thing: bats, when they're in caves, are absolutely filthy. Bats that are pets are not.
Okay.
But like bats in the wild are disgusting.
They are
And this is
carriers
the thing,
of all
they
kinds
have
of disease. Yeah.
Yeah, they have really good immune systems because
How filthy, yeah.
they are so filthy that they like need to have good immune systems so that they
Because
don't
they
get
live in
sick.
oceans
I
of
need to
guano.
remind people that I'm smart.
Hey, Mark Street says he's taking off. Have a nice night. Although you shouldn't, we're about to start some speed rounds. We're going to cut the after show short because I think speed rounds is going to be a lot more fun with these guys. But before we get to that,
to be fair,
Sam,
Yeah.
there's a card underneath your face asking if you're getting paid this month, and you are not yet, but it is going up at a nice little tick here. So you should be getting paid by the end of the month. That number is how many people subscribed since the beginning of the month, and when we get to 60, we pay Sam for his hard work, and we love Sam. As you guys know, one of the dreams of mine and Nerd and Correct in its entirety is to be able to pay our entertainers what they are worth. I don't know what the budget for tonight's show would be, but I do know that Thursday nights, if we want to do it live and pay everybody scale, that's a $6,000 show we're presenting you. So we'd have to charge you $25 a ticket to come see it live. And we love you and we love playing the game, so we give it to you for free. But if you can pitch in and help, one of the ways is by subscribing, which allows me to pay the people that help me out for the show, which is really the only thing I care about. But if you want to help even more and get a lot of really cool stuff, you can go to patreon.com/nerdincorrect, which is where you'll find all of it's the only place where the archives for all 3 seasons of Codenames Live New Class and Main Cast are. It's where Gaming Incorrect is. It's where the Nerd Incorrect podcast, the exclusive Patreon podcast, and early access to the adventures we have from inside the house is also available there. There's the secret store. There's just a bunch of stuff. And at the high...
The newsletter. Don't
The
forget
newsletter is, if by the way, if you have been gifted a sub today or if you subscribe today and you don't already get the newsletter, let Suited Monkey know. Send him a whisper or tell him in the chat that you want him to whisper to you because I think he's blocking people right now because he's getting botted a lot.
Yeah, I found out that those hey, you want to be famous bots can
Yeah.
DM you now instead of just posting annoyingly in your chats.
Wow.
Technology was
Yeah.
a mistake.
Absolutely.
As soon as we got past MSN Messenger and using a disk to install AOL, it all went to crap. But yeah, the newsletter, obviously, if you don't already get it, let Sam or I know in a message anywhere on social media. We'll get you signed up for it because the newsletter is dope and it drops on the 1st of every month. And we give away stuff, which is my favorite thing to do. The other thing and the best perk, if you are on our Patreon, if you become a Patreon stakeholder or higher, you get put on Tavis's hit list. Tavis Maplesden, our main cast celebrity favorite person. To thank you for supporting us at the higher levels. He will hunt you down and kill you. So that's nice. Tavis Maplesden this week will be hunting down Peter G. Evans, Emily Slatter, Given No Fox, Lindsay Northrup, Luigi 2020, Tim Rowcliffe, who is Jigsaw Nerd in the chat, Stupid Monkey, Janathi, Mazeltov Cocktail Gaming, Astro Griff, and Nicole St. Amand. Thank you guys for helping us out, and watch your back. But for now, we are going to go back to the game, and we are going to play a couple of speed rounds. They are my favorite thing in the world, and hopefully it flusters everybody. So for now, everybody say bye to Sam. Bye, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Anybody can be the spy master for this round.
All right, Rich, why don't you
I'm
go?
trying to remember. So
I'll
this
get my
is.
redemption.
There's still two
Yep.
teams, right? And it's whoever.
It's still red versus blue.
Right, and it's the longer Shea takes to get my clues, the more time the blue spy master gets
Yeah.
to come up
Also,
with clues.
the
right?
longer you ask this question without choosing a spy master, the more time Grant has to come up with his first clue.
What?
All right, Richard has decided to be the spy master for red team. Grant for the blue team.
I did not.
This round works exactly the same as the other rounds. There are 25 cards in the middle of the board. The spy master is going to give a single word clue and a number that tells the operative how many cards match that clue. There's still an assassin on the board, and if they choose that, the game will end automatically. The only difference between this round and every other round is the spy masters only have 7 seconds to look at all 25 cards, find their cards, come up with a clue for their cards, type that clue, type the number, and hit give a clue, and that has to be done before the end of this song. Grant, you have 7 seconds. Island 3. All right, Christina. The longer you take, the more time you give Richard.
Take all the time you want.
No. Okay. Iceland's is an island.
Sure is.
Oh crap! Why do I have a cough now? Pitch, burst, fly, wave. Well, I don't know. There's waves by the islands on the beach. What are the other ones? Okay. And then
Wave is blue.
Christina's demonstrating this is also known as the anxiety round.
This is terrible.
Port. And yeah, you do have a bonus poke if you want to use that.
I'm all right. That's it. I'm guessing.
Red team. Celebration 2.
Celebration 2. All right, let's see. Wedding's a celebration, of course. And then what else we got?
That's when we
rodeo?
celebrate our mastery of horses and bulls.
Yeah. Awake is like the opposite of a celebration.
It's a celebration of life.
There's no time. Go with your gut.
Why are you making me click wake?
Blue team. Fork 2.
Fork 2. Okay. Let's see here. Fork. No. You wouldn't eat an apple with a fork. Papa. That's soda. Fork. It's like a stick, a little bit. Fork.
I can't believe you're not seeing it. It makes me so sad.
Don't
worry, the chat found it.
Oh yeah, crap. All right, I'm going to the chat. Oh no, this is where
my chat timed out. Crap.
What I do?
Nothing.
What?
Go ahead.
Okay. You know how it sucks when you vacuum up a fork? That's probably what it is.
Stick a fork in it, it's done.
Stick a fork in it. Well, that's what I don't know. Another one. It's a stick. It's a Santa's not a stick. Brass stick.
I'm
I don't
so
know.
sorry,
Stick.
Grant. This is killing me.
Apple.
Yeah.
Wheel. Pitch. Stick.
Clearly, Christina and I should be on the same
Pitchfork.
team.
There we go. You do have a bonus poke.
Sometimes I have plastic forks in my purse.
Don't use the bonus poke.
Yeah, do it.
Squid 2. This is drummer for sure.
Squid. All right. Squids are, in the ocean with the whales.
Basically,
and saying the walruses are also in the ocean.
Which is why the clue was not
squid,
ocean, I guess.
Apple director. Squid. Jeez. Squid? Okay, you eat squid in China. Squids can flatten. No,
This
that's
is your
octopus.
fault.
Can flatten themselves up.
Is this your fault? I honestly have
What
no
is my
idea.
fault?
Master.
Squid.
Oh
Beijing. Oh my god!
Yeah! My favorite way to win. This is by accident. I love it.
What?
I had some good clues too.
And that's a
coming up.
very cool one.
I bet you did.
You've got a hook.
I was like reading the screen from the top to the bottom. And it was like,
Wow.
Okay, so I'm not saying I had a good reason to pick anything that I did, but what were you going for with squid?
Squid, you were spot on with whale, and I didn't go with ocean because I don't know if anybody's seen the art house film The Squid and the Whale, but it's
I haven't heard of it.
And movies have directors.
Wow. Yeah, that was a. That's why I love speed routes.
Wait, I was never gonna get to
That's why I
Router.
love speed routes.
What am I going to do
boy.
with rodeo, flat, director, pop, whale, memory, and vacuum?
Oh. Not
I don't know.
squid.
I clearly didn't know.
Figure it out is what you're gonna do.
Right.
I don't know.
I guess I could have just thrown a bunch of ones, which is perhaps been the way to go.
I mean, they did win.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Anybody
right.
can be the spy master.
Never
Alright,
again.
fine.
Well, do I have to?
I am literally sweating.
You can do it, Christina. Yeah.
All right. Christina is the spy master for the blue team. Shay, the spy master for the red team. And Shay, unfortunately, I've already explained the rules.
I hit enter and it just
Mythology
didn't
too.
go, but there we go.
We're back to
Mythology
mythology.
is making its comeback.
Okay.
Recycle
Valentine
clues.
rocks. Squares. Oh yeah, there we go.
23 PT,
Hercules.
thanks
I don't
for
have to click
following.
both. There's no time to click both. Jesus. Oh, right. There we go.
Hand.
Boom. Done.
Well
Done.
done. Blue team.
All
Oh,
is
wait, I
right
gotta
with the
turn off
world
the
again.
assassin. Blue team. Ooh. Oh, Muse 23 PT is Paulo. Paulo, I read a lot of your work.
Paulo. Is it like 3 o'clock in the
It's
morning?
late
Paulo?
over there.
I know. I'm like, shit. I have to tape a podcast in 9 minutes.
Do you?
Well, yeah, no, and it's all right. I pushed it. I'll push
No,
it.
don't
It's
push
okay.
it.
Shit. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see if this will.
Richard,
All right, let's try this.
which game did you record that Paulo has to stay up till 3 a.m.?
I don't know. I do work him hard, obviously. Although he does have the hardest job in the board game
100%.
business. Cleaning up after me.
Oh, just find it. I actually will talk about that in the after show. Honeymoon 2.
Yeah.
We got role play. We got
Wow,
Valentine.
if your honeymoon already requires role play, that's
That's where his brain went right to.
Hey, you know what? That's why I think bats are filthy, because whenever I role play, I dress up as them.
Back to
All
the
right,
farmer.
Uh-huh. All right. I'm doing it. I'm just
Valentine
going
and
with
role
it.
play,
All right.
no, red.
Here we go.
Dirt 2.
Dirt 2. Dirt comes from rocks.
Rock is red.
You take a shower to clean the dirt off.
Shower
Done.
is red.
Just
Blue
like
team.
that. And that's how you play speed codenames.
Thank you.
Chemistry
You know?
2.
Okay, this feels like
And
the
that
same.
will always be on our
Mhm.
boards.
Is there chemistry? Like that feels like
Yeah, it's
another
definitely
romance
roleplay.
thing. Yeah. Chemistry.
Oh, Mary
Boy,
Moo, I like that. And
I
Brianna
don't
Schman,
know
Brian
what-
Ashman showing up with a good one too.
microscope is clear. But okay. What else could it be here? I guess I'm going here.
Cell is
Yeah.
blue.
All right. Good.
Red team.
Yeah.
Stroke 2.
Okay, wow.
By the
that's
way,
fun.
one of my favorite things about Codenames is definitely happening right now.
Wow.
All Richard has to do is find red-colored cards. They don't have to be the right ones, and he definitely has accidentally found some red cards.
What are you talking about? My intuition has been spot freaking
Yeah,
on.
which means he's not going to look back
so
at these
stroke.
clues, which he definitely missed.
Stroke is a physical motion, much like rolling.
Yep, just like roll.
Yeah, just like rolling.
Yeah. I was even thinking rolling for honeymoon, like you do a roll in the sack.
Well, I'm glad I helped you eliminate that. Bro.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh, a paint stroke, and a stroke in golf is a shot, basically.
Paint stroke. That's probably it. All right. Buckingham Palace. Well, that's not
Well,
even
there
on
you
the
go.
board.
Write it in. Yeah.
You know what? I think
right.
I am really much more simpatico with Christina.
Yeah, Richard's like, I can see
I
both
just
those
always
cards.
see them. I mean, I just immediately just, well, it's obviously that and that. Boom, done.
Well, I think it's probably Europe. And
Richard,
those
yeah,
guys,
we'll be partners next time.
I feel like the guys out front are kind of like knights. They look kind of like, they're not. They're like soldiers, but I
mean,
guess.
I was going to go more with you
I'm
get
going-
knighted at Buckingham Palace, but
Also, people
So-
go to Europe for their
that's
honeymoons,
true.
Grant.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I meant.
no, you don't
I
get to
know.
say that.
Well, I mean, Rahdo just said it before he did. So I definitely was going to pick paint for my bonus poke, but thank you, Rahdo, for pointing out that people go to
Yeah,
Europe
but you
for their
still have.
honeymoon.
Oh, there we go. Red team.
Who's Richard? You are on everyone's team but mine, apparently.
How you doing, Paula?
Animal 2.
Animal
Squid
2.
Phoenix drummer.
All righty, we got tigers. Tigers lived in the Ice Age, but before I do that, I'm gonna go get some paint. And
Oh, are you going to be one of those
right.
people that's like, worm isn't an animal?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I was like, I swear to God, if he picks Ice Age before.
It was just the first thing I saw. It was just the first thing. I was gonna look more. I wasn't done.
Alive. How about that are living? Can we do that?
Christina, like, you're like way late. I can play it again if you need me to.
Fuck! No, fuck.
We love the song.
Yeah.
Oh no, pass it to me. I got one.
No!
We're back to the ones.
It's a
Yeah,
big
I'm
one.
sorry.
Love it.
I'm sorry.
Loving it.
I don't know.
Honestly, dude, Shea, you just said something pretty. That's a pretty good rule for the speed round. If you take too long, it goes back to the other team.
Even
you
better
like forfeit.
than that, Grant. In these speed rounds, if you're taking too long, people can force a choice in the chat. If they're bored of you, they can force you to pick a card.
They've got thousands
How are
and
we not more to
thousands.
me yet? I know.
Speak of the devil.
here we go.
Except no, Sam, refund him. We missed that opportunity.
No.
What happened?
What?
OTG's like this. Oh wait, darn. That's too slow.
Nope,
Oh yeah.
sorry.
Red team.
Yeah.
I had it ready.
School 2 for the win.
Cool. All righty.
Yeah,
Take
take
your
your
time.
time.
This is for the
They're
win.
trigger happy
Well,
on force of choice.
There's time. Time enough for sleep in the grave.
School
There's desks
desk.
in school. Don't they call that thing in school a square that you do
Oh
calculations
yeah,
with?
I thought you meant like your friend Steve.
No, that's a calculator.
Shot, Crusader, Saddle, Parade.
My favorite
Wow.
observation, Shay, because you said calendar. Comic did a joke about it a couple days ago, where he was like, "Remember in school when you were told you couldn't bring a calculator to the test because they were like, you'll never have a calculator in your pocket in real life."
The audience is all over the place. There's no
None.
consistent. I see Mark. I see Parade. I see Square.
I like
see
that
Shot.
Paulo within
Well,
seconds
yes, I could
gave
also
you
pick
two-
randomly,
gave you two
audience.
of them.
We know that Shea likes to throw in wild cards right at the end of the game.
Sure does. Okay, my gut, the first thing I saw was if you grow up in a very cold place with a lot of snow, you get to take.
Yeah,
Your
that's
sled to
probably sled. Yeah.
Nope.
Wait,
I did not grow up in a very cold place.
Dad, why are you taking so
Oh,
long? Give him his
God
money back.
Damn
We're
it!
done.
Damn you, Brian
Back in
Batman! Where
two.
were you 13 seconds
Grades are
ago?
marks in school.
I just also like that you were like, man, the chat said everything, and then you picked one that the chat didn't mention at all.
Well, that was to spite them. because they've done nothing for me. I'm
This is
still
back-
on about that damn leather thing when I had frickin' bat and I had victory. Chat ripped it from me.
Don't worry, you're gonna get it
With
back
their
because
wild and
Bakken
crazy.
is...
Oh well, you tan the hide of a leather animal and
Paolo.
In.
I mean, I might be
Oh,
taking
now,
that word here,
sorry.
but
Now my
whatever.
dad did get in on time. You are choosing Mark. You are choosing
I'm choosing Mark.
No.
So
That is a powerful tool.
Yeah,
Back
they
to win?
decided to end this and give the win to blue.
Now that gives the
To
blue
red,
win to
sorry.
red.
Yeah, because it's a mark.
Hey, Red
Quit
Team
stalling.
wins!
Why?
On
Give it
the,
to us.
On the strength of a
I have
Luigi
never
steal.
heard that. It instantly made sense that grades can be called marks, but that's
Well, not just
totally
that,
news
but
to me.
well,
Is
that
that
might be a.
you know why your teacher
that might
was
be a
so
local-
angry because she had to stay late because she had to mark all of your papers?
Oh, shut up, you.
No,
You're so smart.
maybe that
How
might be a
about- how
local
about
thing,
you
but yeah,
get in
like
on
getting good
speed
marks.
round? Up,
I don't get to play anymore because I win all the time.
Oh.
Oh.
Also, I've been very, very clear that it's impossible to be good at code names. It depends on who you're playing with. 'Cause
The important is we all won.
Well, I think it was
'cause
more
we had
successful
fun.
than last time I played. I feel like it was quite
oh,
fun.
this was a blasty blast.
Yeah.
You're always a great time. Everybody, like I said, right after the show, everybody was asking when you would come back. But let's head over to Mod
Wow.
Corner because you've got a podcast to go record, and I've got some questions to ask the board game people. So, Sam Murdoch, Suited Monkey, our mod, our favorite mod, our only mod. What's up, Sam?
Not a whole lot. Screw me up by not offering the
Fine.
usual line.
Where
but,
can people find you, and what have you got going on?
I was all prepared. I had it on the tip of my tongue, and then I get hit with what's going on. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, twitch.tv/suitedmonkey. I'm playing mostly retro games, but every now and then I'll throw a Dark Souls or League of Legends in there when I don't feel like actually putting effort into something.
Very cool. So follow Sam and also hit him up on social media if you want access to that newsletter. And you do. You want access to that newsletter. This month, like I said, we're giving away a board game, and it's likely going to be from Stonemaier. Depending on what you have to tell me what your favorite board game is, and then we put you in the newsletter, obviously, because you've read it and you already know. But then I draw at random somebody who wins, and that person is going to win a board game that is in my top 10 based on your favorite board game. So if you tell me your favorite board game is Uno, I might not get you Euphoria. That might not be the best idea. But I will get you one of my favorite games of all time based on the level of game you're into. That being said, Sam, we will see you in the after... No, are you joining us for the after show party? All right,
I am not, but I will be able to starting next week.
So we will see you on Thursday. So for the last time tonight, everybody say bye to Sam. Bye, Sam.
Bye, Sam.
And we are going to wrap up the show here. So if you're only here for Codenames, then thank you so much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed everybody here. And you should already be following them everywhere if you aren't. But hopefully you'll stick around for the after show party, which is where you get to ask questions and hear me talk about board games some more. Red Team captain tonight was Richard Ham, Rahdo himself. Richard, where can people find you and what have you got going on?
You can find me in my namesake, Rahdo.com, RAHDO.com. Takes you to my YouTube channel where I cover hundreds of board games every year. And I do my best to tell you to ignore my personal thoughts and opinions and just watch the run-through and decide for yourself if it looks
Easily
like
the
fun.
best way to find out if you like a game. There's plenty of amazing people on the internet that'll teach you the rules, that'll tell you about a game, that'll give you their opinion on it. But watching Rahdo go through a game will let you know if you're actually going to enjoy that game yourself. And I'm so thankful that Richard started doing that 10 years ago. You have saved me from some awful games, and and I have games in my collection that are only there because I watched you play through them, because I was not interested in them in the least until you played through them.
That is awesome. What I want to hear is all the times I led you wrong.
Oh,
We can do that.
we are definitely going to talk
That's
about
my first
that.
question.
Red Knot Captain tonight with Shea Parker. Shea, where can people find you and what have you got going on?
So I can also be found on Rahdo's channel. I've infiltrated it.
Yes.
And I do run-throughs on his channel as well. But my main channel is called RTFM, and it is a channel where I teach complicated board games. I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I taught a game called Twilight Imperium. It's one of the biggest games in board gaming, takes all day to play, and it's really hard to learn. But you go to my channel, you watch it, you learn how to play, and also I try to make things entertaining as well as informative, because dry board game tutorials are the worst. So I try to be
and you
a
absolutely
little bit more fun
you do
with it.
you guys
while I'm doing that.
absolutely the best. I just like that you're very similar in what you do, but Richard plays Jen all the time, and Shea just steps back and he's going, no, left brain, right brain.
I love that. I don't know why that didn't occur to me 10 years ago. It's so freaking brilliant. I bring him on, and within 3 months, he's doing a better job than me.
I'm secretly trying to take over. Give it a year.
Well, I'm glad that you did bring someone on, because it's there's like 790 games that come out every year that are worth talking about, and there's no way Richard's going to be able to get through all of them, especially if any of them have any take that.
That is
cards.
very precise. Yep.
But we're going to talk about all that stuff later. Blue Captain tonight, one of my favorite human beings, one of the best comedians working today, Christina Walkinshaw. Christina, where can people find you, and what have you got going on?
Well, don't follow me on Twitter. I just got hacked, which I already said at the beginning of the show. So at Walkinshaw, I don't know who's running that page now, but whatever. I mean, they can't be grosser than I am. It might be better content, but I went also on Instagram, pretty much on everything. I'm at Walkinshaw, and then for stand-up, I update all my stand-up dates at ChristinaWalkinshaw.com. So I'm in New York basically for the next few weeks, and then I'm taking a vacation to Maui, and I'll be in the Seattle area for New Year's. I'll be at Zanies in Chicago in February, some Connecticut breweries, I don't know, a whole bunch of bullshit. But listen to my podcast, Jill and Off. It's really fun. And you can keep up with my exciting or not exciting love life.
Christina, thank you so much for doing this. We are definitely going to get you back. If not for I mean, your holidays seem busy, so we probably won't be able to hook you for the holiday bash, but season 4 for sure. Blue Knot Captain tonight was Grant Lyon, again, one of the best comedians working today. Also working on an hour for board gamers specifically, because I think Grant is really figured out his niche, where he's like, look, I can do comedy, but I also like board games, so why don't I do that? Where can people find you, and what have you got going on?
Yeah, so if you want comedy content, you can find me just at Grant Lyon, and it's that on all social media stuff, and my website will give you links to stuff, and you can listen to me on Spotify and all that stuff. My album, my last album hit #1 on the charts, so give that a listen. Thank you. And if you like the board game stuff that's sort of more comedy focused, I do that on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. TikTok's a big place for it right now. So I do like a lot of board game comedy sort of stuff on there. And as Tim mentioned, I have written a whole show, an hour-long live show, called the Board Game Comedy Hour, and I've been taking that around the country. So right now I'm doing it just small, like when I'm in an area headlining a normal comedy club, I'll do an extra night at a board game cafe or something like that. But I plan to do a full tour of it in 2022. So if you want to follow me, you'll know when I'm coming to your town with the board game comedy.
Crossed that it matches up with when CGE wants the Codenames Live crew to come to conventions, because when we do the Codenames Live Comedy Hour, we're gonna need some guest spots.
I would love to be on it. I have so much fun. You do a great job with this show, and I would love to do it live,
you do,
too.
Tim. You do a great job. It's super fun.
Did somebody cash in the be nice to other people reward? What just happened?
See, Richard, sometimes people like to practice empathy and just be friendly with each other.
Yes,
it's
right.
We like to think of
the
ourselves
mustache.
as
It's
Care
brought out a
Bears,
whole new side of me.
and so. But I'm Tim Riel, and this has been Codenames Live. You can catch us here every Monday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Every Monday, it's a new cast with a bunch of new class people, a bunch of people that I love and adore, and didn't get the chance to hang out with because of the pandemic, or didn't get the chance to meet because of the pandemic. And so I'm forcing them to spend an evening with me playing my favorite party game. You can find my podcast, The Adventures We Have from Inside the House, everywhere podcasts happen. And if you go to patreon.com/nerdincorrect, you can get my Nerd Incorrect podcast every Wednesday and a bunch of other cool stuff. But most importantly, just come meet us here Mondays and Thursdays at 8 o'clock and on Saturdays at 10 a.m. when we play video games. Because basically we just want to hang out with you and have a good time. But that is that. We're going to take a very short break so we can all pee and top up our drinks. But some of us will be back and we will chat about everything you want to chat about. But until then, I love your faces. We'll see you in a bit. Keep timming it real.
Okay.
Also, Richard, as much as I love your comfort, this is not how your camera.
No, I can scooch. I can scooch now that I'm on screen. Scooch.
Hey guys, we're
That'll
back.
probably do
Welcome
it.
to the after show party. There's Sam mid-wave. Christina's got a couple of minutes before she has to head off. Yeah, Christina, this is your second time on the show. What'd you think? How did you enjoy your fellow cast members for this one?
I loved it. I thought you guys were all great, and it was fun to play with Grant because I've been to some game nights at Grant's house, and like I know he knows like all the names. Did I tell you I recently discovered a game called Love Letter that I really like?
That is, yeah. It's
Love Letter.
Yeah,
It's classic.
That's a great game too. Yeah, I'm having fun.
My family loves too. I play that a lot with my family at get-togethers.
do they still make the big
it's like
box
over
version?
the pandemic, I learned a lot of games. My wine glass is actually from Ottawa, Tim. It's from the Great Glebe garage sale.
Oh, that's the best.
Somebody made this, and my friend Jen Grant, another comic do you know Jen Grant?
I know Jen.
Has Jen been on this? Jen and Julian should do this.
Julian
show.
has done the show. And we probably shouldn't do this in the after show party. Julian and Jen were supposed to be on the Valentine's Day show. They did the tech run, and then Julian became the only available member of that team. And so we did a different lineup. Jen was absolutely incredible and funny, and one of my favorite people as well. I don't think she likes Codenames. No, she was not having fun in the tech run, and I'm like, yeah, no, if you're not having fun, then how are you going to have fun on the show? And again, like any other game, Codenames isn't for everybody.
I mean,
Indeed.
some people aren't board game people. Like my sister used to like quit Monopoly the second somebody else landed on Boardwalk. Like that's when the game ended.
To be fair, it's Monopoly.
So anyway,
Shay, you should listen to
Bradley.
episode, I can't remember, of my podcast called No, Not Like Monopoly.
you can listen to.
Like, don't get me wrong. If someone likes Monopoly, I don't have any like. There's no hate.
But me,
it's people shouldn't judge board
And that's
games
pretty much
based
what the
on
whole
that.
podcast
I only
is
like
about.
playing Monopoly. I only like playing Monopoly at McDonald's.
Yeah.
You pick the stickers.
Me
off.
too, because I know I'm not going to win
Monopoly
there.
for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Come on. Sometimes you win a free soft drink or fries.
My-
I love that Monopoly.
I'm house sitting at my mom's place. Not right now. The kids are at my mom's place. Right after, once I wrap, I got to go back to my mom's place where my children are. But she's got printer paper with a whole bunch of just McDonald's stamps of shit she won with a note that says, you can use some of these. And it's like, oh yeah, maybe I'll go down and go, can I have a cheeseburger, another cheeseburger, a small fry, some kind of pastry, and a McCafe thing, and a large soft drink, please?
Oh man, this is...
And then they'll be like, these expired 5 years ago.
yeah, totally.
Hey, Amphibious T-Rex, can I ask how to enter the board game giveaway? Ooh, Amphibious T-Rex, there are 2 ways to get the newsletter. And the newsletter is how you get into the board game giveaway. To get the newsletter, you need to subscribe to the Twitch channel, or all of my Patreon subscribers also get the newsletter. So those are the 2 ways. You need to be subscribed to this channel to get your emotes and your badges, which is the best way to do it, because then you're going to be remember to come watch every Monday and Thursday. And every show is like this one. They're always this fun and this entertaining, because the game is the least important thing happening on the show. It's just hanging out with cool people. It's a chill hang for an hour and a half. And it's easily my favorite thing that I've done in many, many years. But yes, that's how you get into the board game giveaway, Amphibious T-Rex. You need to subscribe here or join the Patreon. Did I miss any other... No, I don't think I missed any other questions. I derailed something, and I can't remember what. We were just talking about McDonald's and Monopoly. Okay, yeah, we don't have to talk about that stuff anymore.
It makes me miss Roll Up the Rim to Win.
Oh, I love Roll Up the Rim to Win.
Are we being too Canadian now?
Yeah, well,
Wait,
Shay and
I have
Richard
no
have
idea what
clue.
that is, so.
Yeah, where are you
No.
guys? Where are you guys at?
Yeah.
California.
Okay.
So Tim Hortons, you guys
Yeah.
must have heard of Tim Hortons by now.
Yes.
But Tim
Yeah, I know
Hortons
what Tim
does
Hortons
a
is.
yearly giveaway thing where you roll up the rim of your coffee cup and then it'll say if you won or not. And you can win a whole bunch of really cool stuff. And they've been doing it for about 25 years. So it's like, it's a seasonal thing. We know when it's roll. Oh, by the way, we know it's roll up the rim season because McDonald's has started giving away all of their coffees for $1. When McDonald's starts doing that, you're like, oh, it must be roll up the rim to win time.
Wait. Are these like special coffee cups that have more
No,
of
it's a
rim,
regular
or
rim,
can
but
you...
you know where it's like it's rolled at the top, and so you just unroll that part.
I never
So
knew you
if
could unroll
next
that
time
part.
you go to
That
next time you go to Dunkin' or anywhere else that does coffee with like a plastic lid, take the plastic lid off, and you'll notice that the lip that is created is made just by rolling it down, and so you just roll it back up. And so they print on the inside of it. Yeah,
no idea.
and it's funny because in the beginning of the roll up the rim years, you got really excited because you could win a Honda Civic. That was the big prize, but now the big prizes are actually like pretty dope. It's always still a car, but it's no longer like a low level mid-sized sedan. It's a
I'd be happy with it.
yeah, but now you can be happy with a free Kia Sorento, my friend.
Oh no, you want a Kia. I actually won a $100 gift card from Tim Hortons from Roll Up the Rim. That was the best I ever did.
Me, it was just I think I went a week and a half without having to buy coffee. I kept getting a free coffee every time I got a coffee, and I was like, "This is nice."
See, I think I'm just lucky. I just win things by accident. It's just like, no horseshoes up my butt sometimes.
Seems uncomfortable, but it works.
It's all part of my podcast, chilling off.
No.
We can find that anywhere podcasts are found, right?
Yeah, you'll love this week's episode called Dick You Down.
When are you going to have me as a guest, Christina?
Oh my God, we really should. You guys know me and Grant have fooled around before.
Ooh.
Do tell.
That's right. My partners are sleeping their way to the top on this Codenames.
I don't know if we stay on this topic or if I move on.
We're obviously friends, so we can talk about it if you
I'm
want.
pretty good with like doing people and staying friends with them.
Yeah, I don't.
I am
Check
too.
chat
Yeah.
messages from me.
Right, we're good. We're solid people. Me and Greg get along great.
Cool.
I mean, did we make it awkward?
No,
I was just thinking, I was like, I don't know. We're all friends. We can talk about that. And I'm like, yeah, not a thing I talk about with my friends, if we're being honest. It's like, hey, did you know we used to put each other inside each other for a while? Did you know?
Yeah,
We'll
you
talk about
we
that.
would have been faster winning this game together,
I
right?
But I don't know if Paulo has gone to
Know all
bed.
each other's minds.
But I did want to ask, Richard, how does the Paulo thing work? Because I just watching back a video on YouTube to annotate the index is like that's half an hour out of my day, and I'm like, I hate this. But then watching Paulo's work on your videos, I'm just like, what's the workflow with you?
Well,
and Paulo?
he is absolutely incredible, and the way it came about was many years ago. Before he came into my life, I was just doing my own goof checks. I would not catch my own goofs, and I would rely on the audience to point out when I made mistakes, and then I would have to go back after the fact and add them via the old annotation system.
Yeah.
And there was this one asshole. Every freaking video I would put up would just drown me in goofs. And I was like, just leave me the fuck alone. I'm sorry. We're after hours, right? I'm not sure if I should.
We've been after hours since we went live, Richard.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, I mean, he was an incredible thorn in my side. It was literally making me miserable. And at one point, I just said, hey, man, you clearly watch all the videos. If I paid you some cash, would you just do this last step and, take out the middleman of me having to transcribe your goof checking? And he said, yes, please. And
that's what I've been auditioning for. That's the whole reason I was doing this.
Unbeknownst to me.
Do you think I care about every game you play?
So he's been doing that ever since. I pay him by the video. I pay him double for the Kickstarter videos because they tend to have slightly more woolly rules. And there's just something about his brain. I mean, because the number of times, the publishers, they'll watch these things too. And they'll just say, "Oh wow, that was fantastic, Rahdo, really awesome. It all looks great to us." And then Paulo will come along 2 days later and say, "What is wrong with these people? Do they not know their own game?" Because
it's wild.
You've seen it too now, of course.
How often
he
it happens
too.
Yeah.
Not as many as mine, but still.
I want
enough.
I just would like to say, what a fairy tale ending for this story. This literally started off with this guy, and now you're like, this guy's great.
He completes.
But that's my favorite thing about the internet too, because as a creator, you're just like, you're making this thing, and if anybody says anything about your thing, you're like, oh, you're so not used to people liking your thing that you're obviously like defensive. That's your first thing. And for me, I'm just picturing it from the other side of it, where it's like, I've been watching Richard since the glass table, and I'm like, I should tell him that he shouldn't shoot on a glass table. This is a terrible idea. But I'm like, there's no point. I'm sure he'll figure it out on his own. But there's like those moments, and then with Paolo where he's like sending in all the goofs, but it's like if he sees it on a couple of videos, then that's fine. But if he's doing it for all of them, I can just see this kid who loves board games and likes your stuff going, "Oh, let me help you," and he's like trying to add value to it. So I love the idea that you're like, "Who's this asshole? Why are you being a dick to me?" Like,
he was never an asshole. It was just a pain in the ass to constantly be faced with my own shortcomings. And I mean, he was always very polite about it, and it's just it was so much fucking work, because at the time the interface on YouTube was so much worse. And I said, okay, well, I'll just have him do it.
For the timeline that you said, for me, it seems like there must have been a point where you were getting frustrated enough at Paolo that I bet there was a couple of videos before you asked him to do them for you that you were just like, I'm not even going to do anything until Paolo comments.
Paolo will have to comment on this. I don't remember the particulars of when it was. It's all of that.
It was early days, because I've been hearing Paolo's name I don't remember many videos where Paulo's.
I don't know if you go back. I think if you watch the first few years and you look at the goof checks there, it's always, "Oh, oops, I missed that," or "I screwed that up." And at some point, it switched over to Rahdo screwed that up. And actually, the best thing by far about him is I think he gets frustrated with me. And sometimes that comes through in the goof checks. And I actually encourage him to rip me apart because I think it's hilarious. And it seems like most of the audience does too.
I love it. Every time it comes up where it's like, he's doing this wrong, and he's going to keep doing this wrong.
Oh my God, he remembers. I see him in the chat. He remembers whatever the specific game was. I am genuinely curious.
Yes.
Paolo. If you can reveal it in 30 seconds, Paolo.
Origin story.
I'm so sorry. I have to peace out. I have to go and do.
Sorry, and say hi to Jen and apologize profusely for me.
I will. No. It's totally cool. Like I said, I wanted to action pack my Monday and make sure I get all my work done so I could fucking do nothing for the rest of the week. Okay, you guys are all so fun. I'm gonna find you on YouTube.
You are awesome. I totally got all your clues.
I'm Richard. We're I love it. Bye. Good to see you.
Bye. Oh, Paolo's saying, I don't remember when I started getting paid for your things. I just remember being frustrated at you.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I think I don't know if anybody else has a Paolo. And I think that might be one of the greatest things about yours. I think people are still doing it themselves.
There's one other channel. I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Tom Heath in England, Slicker Drips.
Yeah, I like it.
He had a volunteer come forward from his audience, who I actually know in real life because he lives up in Seattle, and I've gamed with him a few times, Steve. And so Steve has volunteered, and I don't think Tom pays Steve. I think Steve's just retired and does it for fun. Whereas Paolo,
I love that.
Every month, Paolo says, "Hey, it's time to fire up the Revolut. I need my money."
Yeah, I like that Slicker Drips has an American doing his stuff, and you've got a European.
Yep.
Well, I guess it's good because it's like, now I'm done. I'm going to bed, Paolo. By the time I wake up, this will be ready to go. I like that. That's really cool. Yeah. Shay, what was the big difference when without obviously getting into any proprietary shit? What were the conversations leading to you being part of Rahdo Run-Throughs?
So it was the weirdest thing about this for me was the timing of it, because as I was, I've been doing RTFM for
5 years.
I think I've been doing it for 5 years now, something like that. And so I started last April. So 3.5 years, something like that. And I I had just been doing my thing, and I got contacted by this guy who sort of runs the behind the scenes stuff for the Rahdo channel, and he kind of just saying like, hey, we're looking for a contributor, and we like your stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll look into this. I'll see where this goes, and we started talking. But the wildest thing was I got that call and like, oh, this could be a big thing. This could be a big deal for me. And I was bartending at the time, and I was like going to my manager. I was like, hey, I just so you know, things happening. It might be a big deal. I might like if it goes well, I might end up quitting. And it's like, well, cool. That's congratulations, because he was pretty chill. And then the pandemic happened. It happened like a week or two later, like after I got this call. And so it was the perfect timing, because I had all this free time to like get all my tech together, because I needed to get a completely new set of like cameras and equipment to actually film things in this new way.
By the way, Richard, thank you for figuring all that stuff out and making Shea do it, and now the before you play people are doing it, and it's just like as soon as you started doing run throughs like that, I'm like, oh, he figured it out. He finally
I don't know what took so
figured
long.
it out.
I'm embarrassed it took me so long to think of it, because I've known about the existence of green screens for all these years. I just never popped into my head.
That said, Shea.
There's all kinds of things that are just like you never thought about, like how to utilize this in this capacity, because very few people in the board gaming industry or like the YouTube board gaming industry are like coming from a filmmaker's background. So it's difficult to like connect those things if you're not like steeped in that. And now it's there are a few more that are in the mix that like do have that background. I mean, like I made sketch comedy before, and so like I had a little bit, but I was always on the like in front of the camera side as opposed to behind the camera. But like that was useful experience. And then the person that comes to mind right now, there's this guy named Tim Chewin, and he's doing just like board game photography and all kinds of stuff. But his like he comes from a photography background, and his stuff is amazing. Like it's beautiful. I'm like ripping off his ideas to like make my stuff look better. But yeah, it's that kind of thing where more people get into it from all kinds of different backgrounds, and it elevates all the other channels, because we all kind of crib off each other, and because the goal is to just make things look better. So it doesn't matter. It's not like it's proprietary. We all just want to make the industry and the hobby more accessible and more interesting. So
it's a conversation that happens. I hear a lot because I run a video production studio. That's my day job. So it's like a lot of my friends and a lot of people here were like, "Why didn't you ever do board game content?" Because I'm a hardcore board gamer like forever, and they're like, "Why didn't you do board game content?" I'm like, because of how hard it is and how time consuming it is. It's like because it was if I was never going to be able to explain how a game felt better than Richard, and I was never going to be able to do a playthrough better than Will Wheaton. And so, if you're not going to be able to do it better, then it should. Then you need to go the Meeple the MVM route, which is do it as well as everybody else, but up the production value. Make it a beautiful, shiny thing, as good as if your information and your coverage is as good as Dice Tower, it has to look better. Or else, why wouldn't I just go to the Dice Tower? And with all of those things in there, it's like I don't have the clever idea like Grant does. Grant's got an amazing channel because nobody's doing what Grant's doing right now. Honest, heartfelt reviews in a very funny way. There's lots of people who do comedy board game stuff, and there's a lot of people who do the reviews, but Grant has really figured out how to do that. Richard changed scenes on his OBS.
Yes, I did, because I accidentally hit my foot pedal thing. Well, I was putting on my slippers because my feet were getting cold. I went out and got my slippers. I'm coming back. Yeah, there we are.
But make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, very important. Very important.
But yeah, it's so. I think a lot of people, they don't understand how much work goes into it. So when and Richard's hilarious. We always know how much work Richard is doing because he's you can hear it while he's doing the playthrough. He's just like, oh, he's juggling a lot of things. But watching Shea, as somebody who works in this business, watching Shea do a playthrough, I'm just like, no, this guy's brain is way too good and focused, because I'm watching the thing and I'm like, okay, this looks like all he did was move a piece over here. But he moved that over there, changed the camera angle, changed his main camera, and is running a green screen card check all in one go. That's 3 button presses and 2 scene changes that have to happen, and it doesn't even look like he did anything. And it's just like, yeah. So again, watching you guys do your playthroughs and figuring out how you guys are doing that stuff has cemented the fact that I'm never doing board game content.
Well, I'm glad I can keep everyone fooled at how much work it is.
But yeah.
The other thing about board game content, which is like, people ask why don't you do more of this, or like you said, it is a lot of work that goes into these things. And also, so I have a lot of friends that are doing Twitch streaming right now, and I love it. I love guesting on their Twitch streams. At some point I might want to try streaming myself, but streaming board games is so hard to do well. I mean, like, some people do it on Tabletop Simulator or Tabletopia, and that's fine. That works really well, and it's easier to do. But you lose something with that, as with just gaming on TTS in general. It's the draw of tabletop gaming is sitting around the table with your friends, and so when it comes to doing live streaming of actual like board game play, that is so difficult to make it look good and to make it like interesting. It really relies on personality. So like my friends, the brothers Murph, they have like a fantastic board game Twitch stream. Everyone should go check it out. They're streaming all the time, but we talk all the time. Whenever I'm over there, it's such an uphill battle, because at any given moment, you can change a channel on Twitch, go watch anyone, nobody playing a video game, and they'll have 150 viewers. And that's not even a lot, but it's more than most like Twitch streamers will get. It's an uphill battle, at least right now.
Yeah,
while the audience is still
I think
growing.
Paulo hit it right on the head. It's the word that's been evading us this entire time, but it's engaging. Like the way you guys film your playthroughs, it's interesting. The information I need is there, and it's engaging. Lots of people do playthroughs, and it's like, I tune out. I'm not paying attention anymore. And with you guys, it's there. And when I love the brothers Murph, and I've seen a couple of streams that do very, very well, but they haven't cracked it either. I haven't seen anybody do a board game stream to a point where you want to watch the entire game. It's happened a couple of times, but it's not there, which is another reason why I get freaked out. A lot of people are like, oh, Codenames Live is fun to watch. What's the next game that's going to be like this? I'm like, oh, there isn't one. When you can find me a game that's this captivating and engaging. And because like I always say this, the game is the least important part of the show. Obviously, that's not true. The game has to be an interesting game that people like to watch. But that's the thing. Like, the bones of Codenames makes it so that if you get interesting, fun people playing it, it's interesting and fun to watch them play it. And there's just not a lot of games where the game will give you the bones for it and then step out of the way and let the people be entertaining. And so it's until I find another game like it, Codenames is the only board game I'm ever going to stream, because streaming a board game, it's too much. I would need a crew of 11 people to be able to stream a board game the way I'd like a board game streamed.
That's the thing.
Like,
yeah, because
what will we?
And I know people. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, people have cracked it.
Yeah.
It just costs.
It's like,
so
I can
much
do a
money.
live stream, but I need cameramen, I need that switcher, I need a director making the calls, and I need everybody who's in the scene to understand what the point of our live stream is, which isn't always simple with Codenames. Sometimes it's like, no, guys, we're still doing a TV show here. This is still stop worrying about the game so much. We still need to be entertaining. But that's just it. Like, you watch the No Rolls Bard team, and they're picking up where Will Wheaton left off. They're just like, here's how we can do it. But they as well, they've got a large crew, and it takes a lot of time to do their stuff. That being said, they do. I don't know if you've caught any of their content for Blood on the Clock Tower, which is a really difficult genre of game and a very difficult game to make entertaining to watch a playthrough of. And I think they've got as close as possible to making it like watchable. I've watched all of them, and I think it's absolutely entertaining. And it's one of those things where the way they do it is, the producer in me is like watches it and goes, okay, here's all the extra steps that went into making this work. But it's definitely worth watching. If you haven't seen any of their stuff, it is definitely worth watching their Blood on the Clock Tower playthroughs.
I just checked them out on YouTube while you're talking. One thing I know, I mean, it's something that Shane and I talked about a lot when he first started. And him coming on and, doing a test and me watching him do what I'm doing, but in a very, very different way that instantly didn't feel right to me, really forced me to self-analyze. And I don't think I'd realized before then just how important it is to tell stories when you're doing the run-throughs. So many other folks that are trying to demonstrate the game are demonstrating the game as opposed to using the game to tell a story that is compelling. I mean, Will Wheaton did it, but he actually told the story of what everybody was doing at the table because they had all the cutaways and all that production work they did.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. But hey, if we, anytime that we can actually make the game more thematic, I mean, one of the things I talked with Shea about is, I don't care what the official name for this component is in the game. Call it whatever makes sense in the moment as you're telling the story of what happened to your character. I mean, it's not a mistake that the first one he did was Call to Adventure, which is a very story-centric game. And the first test he did of it, he was just talking about flipping runes and placing cards right. And no. Tell the story. Tell the story that this game is forcing you to tell. And I think very few channels really focus on that. At least in my experience when I watch them. And I'd never really been aware of it. It's just something I did instinctually because it's also how I teach the game. I always teach games in very thematic terms. I always try to, okay, here's who you are, and your decision you're making off of this player aid, forget about money or chits or anything. If you're an executive, these are the kind of things you'd be doing in real life as an executive, and just trying to, because board games, they're lifeless. They're flaccid. They just sit there and they don't move. They don't make noise. They're really inferior to video games in that regard. So, as a player, you have to do a little bit more work to let the world come alive. And that's kind of the main thing I've always focused on. And no surprise, Shea is fantastic at it because I think I heard him mention earlier, he's an actor. He's, taking improv classes and all that stuff. So, he was just such a perfect fit.
Shea was an absolute get. But I mean, we all knew. It just took a while for Richard to find him. But more to your point, Richard. And I mean, we were. I was making fun of it during the show, but it's literally the reason why your playthroughs make more sense to me. It's all of those. Oh, but wait, that's interesting. Oh, but that's interesting. And I know, sometimes your playthroughs will be on. If it's a game that I'm interested in, I'll have it on and I'll do some dishes, or I'll be walking around the house while it's playing on the TV. But as soon as you're like, oh, well, that's interesting, I always stop. And I'm always like, oh, he's about to explain 3 or 4 different choices he could be making here. Also, I should turn on the Klingon subtitles because he's going to forget that whatever action he was supposed to take before he said, oh, but wait, that's interesting. He's going to forget to take those 2 coins.
I am a celebrity judge. I mean, you just saw. I mean, I completely melted down in your real-time Codenames game. My brain is not made for that. But, I mean, I'm really lucky that Paulo was in the right place at the right time. And then, I mean, I just really love his acerbic wit. And not everybody likes it, but I think most people really enjoy it. And, and Shea is fantastic, too. And I'm hoping to grow the channel more because I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah,
I can't keep doing it
Richard
forever.
Ever decides to, because you've threatened it a few times. You were still on a small island off of Spain saying, we're probably not going to do these anymore. I think we're going to wrap after this year. We have to decide whether we're doing a Kickstarter or not, and we haven't decided, folks. I'm like, you better decide too, because I don't know what I'd do if you weren't there. And Peter G. Evans, Rahdo's excitement has filled many shelves in my basement. You have 3,000 games. Peter G. Call your collection, Yikes. Peter. Jesus.
That's a lot.
His joy of going through things.
Hey, if it sparks joy, man.
I know, but I'm telling you,
if it makes him happy.
I called down to 175, and they still spark joy. But yeah, Peter G. Evans, you got to come to town so we can play, Pete. Very infrequently have I picked up something after watching him go through it and not enjoyed it myself. The company, I have the game Phalanx, but it's by the company that makes one of your favorite games of all time, Richard. And I didn't like that game. But
What?
hold on,
What?
The company that makes it. Hold on. Iron Games.
We're gonna throw
Was the game?
throw down in a second.
Their first game. You love it. It was. Yeah.
Phalanx. From the Peloponnese company?
Yes. I hunted down
Okay.
a copy of Peloponnese because you were just
That's
like,
gonna be
it's
tough to
so
get.
good, it's so amazing. And then I played it and I'm like, this is fine.
Oh yeah, that was good. What was your problem with
No,
it?
it was just I was just expecting a lot more out of it, and then I played it and I'm like, okay. Yeah. Well, while Richard is talking
I mean,
about it a
probably
lot,
one of
I'm
the
gonna sell
reasons-
it because I can sell it for a profit. But I picked up Phalanx, which you didn't
hopefully
like
I didn't-
nearly as much, but it did fit me a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I thought you were just talking about
Peloponnese.
Phalanx. Which one were you talking about before then? Oh, Peloponnese is so much better than Phalanx. Peloponnese is one of the best games of all time, and everybody's playing. Okay, what went wrong? I'm
Nothing went wrong.
genuinely curious.
I didn't dislike my
If you
time
remember.
with it. It was fine, but it was like nothing. I didn't. I played it. I played it once, a fake 2-player thing to learn the rules, and then I played it with with 3 of my friends a couple of times. I think I got 3 plays out of it, and by the end of it, I was like, "This is fine," but it's not one that I want to play.
I mean, that one more than anything else. I mean, I've mentioned in the past. I think I even did a top 10 of games for sadomasochists, and that's high on the list because it's such a cruel and crushing and punishing game. I mean, it will just rip you apart, and that's what I love about it. That it's. I mean, I am a Care Bear. I don't want to attack anybody, but I love it when the game beats me up. And
Paulo says he likes the card version of Peloponnese better.
I think you can make an argument that it is objectively superior, but it's kind of hard to beat all the cool expansions.
And now they got a big
for
box that
Peloponnese.
you can put all of them in. So,
That's
but
true,
yeah,
they do.
also my brand, Richard, is Nerd Incorrect because I am very wrong about all of my nerdy opinions. A friend of mine was like, "What's your top 10 board games so I can go hunt them down?" And I'm like, "Oh no, you don't want to do that. You don't want my top 10. Like a couple of them are going to be good. You're going to like them, but I mean, Agents of Smersh is in my top 10 just because of how much fun we have with that. So it's like, yeah, you're going to have to pick up Rococo and Agents of Smersh. And the guy at the board game store is going to be questioning your choices very, very quickly.
That is quite a spread. But I thought both those were great. Although, I was really. I mean, have you tried the new Agents
I saw
of
the
Smersh?
write-up for it and how they were changing it, and it didn't look like it was going to. It looked like it was taking the things away that I liked about the first one. So
Yeah.
I didn't end up backing it.
Yeah.
But that did make me sad because it was like, oh, cool, there's going to be cool stuff. And then, they're like, hey, you know all the things that you had fun with? We're taking those away.
Yep. Yeah, all those bumpy, really cool, interesting moments that were quirky and offbeat. How about we just play it a bit more straight and just, sand it down and smooth
I
it
just
out?
like the idea of it's like, hey, did you think Tales of Arabian Nights had nothing going on? Well, why don't we do it? Why don't we take that and kind of play Pandemic? Food Chain Magnate tops my list. I love Food Chain Magnate. I had to sell my copy because the woman I was married to at the time did not enjoy it, and so that had to go. It only has.
Well, Peter G.
still haven't
Evans
played that
assumes you
game.
should just have it along with 1,999 other games on
To
your
be
shelf.
fair, I hate Board Game Geek because it keeps track. So it's like I have owned in my career about 1,500 games, but I think my collection got up to just under 600 games at one point, and I was like, this is too much, and so I just culled it back to about 150, and then I bought some new games, obviously. But it's sitting in a nice space right now. It's at the level I want it to be. I'm part of the jury for a S&M game award called the Whipple. It only has 1 year, and the first winner was Barrage. No shit. That's another one that I'm like, I would play someone else's copy, but I'm not going out of my way to own that one. Playing games from 2020 to give the award for that year. What's so Richard? When people ask me what's a game that nobody's ever heard of that you absolutely love, mine's a little card game called Kryptos, which is it's like a Search for Planet X, and it's a logic deduction game, but it's just a tiny box with cards and tiddlywinks, and I absolutely love it. But every time I bring it to the table, half the people think it's the greatest game ever, and the other half will murder us if we put the game back out on the table, because that's the same way with any other logic deduction game, because some people just get logic deduction or they don't.
Yeah, exactly. It requires a certain
but
brain type,
mine is Kryptos. But what's the game that nobody knows about that is and this is for Grant and Shea, because I realize that Richard and I have been speaking a lot.
Yes.
Yeah,
I want to hear Grant's. I want to hear Grant's game wreck right now.
Yeah.
If he's still with it.
Are you talking about big ones?
No, it
or
doesn't
little
matter
ones?
what size the game is. It could be like an all-day thing. It could be a tabletop RPG. But what's something that you absolutely love when you pack up a weekend game box? It's always in there.
I think Noises at Night is super fun, and
I
nobody
have no
knows
idea
that
what
game.
That is. What's Noises at Night?
Yep. It is a hidden role game that works for 2 players. And that's one of the things that I like about it, because I like hidden role stuff in general. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of it's social, right? I like being social with my games. So hidden role stuff is, when you're playing with a bunch of comedians and everybody's accusing everybody and everybody's lying and stuff like that, it's a lot of fun. And there, most hidden role games, you need like 5-6 people at least for it to be fun. Noises at Night is a very small little card game where you have a hidden role, and if somebody guesses your hidden role, you're still in. They just earn points for that, and then you keep playing through the round stuff. So it's light, but it's fun. You're just playing cards down. There are different rooms, and you're playing cards in different rooms to get different special abilities, and just trying to earn the most points throughout the
It's
game.
on my list. Paulo says Cookie Box. I don't know what Cookie Box is either.
I have not covered
Peter
that.
G.
That is 3 games I have not heard
Evans.
of, which I guess was the Remit. Games no one's heard
Pet
of.
Ergavons, Peter G. Evans, says Nauticus, based solely on a Rahdo playthrough. He picked it up.
Really? Oh, that was a cool little game. Yeah, from that German publisher that always does really great games that nobody ever notices. Hall Games? No, not Hall Games.
Yeah, Hall with the A symbol, the at symbol.
Yeah, I know. It's right over there, but I'm not going to get up and go get it.
Kramer and Kiesling are the. Those are the designers, but who published them?
Yeah, that's driving me
Corporate
nuts now.
America is also pretty cool negotiation game, says Paulo. Another one. I don't know Corporate America either. Speaking of little games that Richard has made other people aware of, Board Game Bliss had 15 copies of Goblivion a week ago, and now they have no copies of Goblivion.
Really?
Because I was like, that sounds cool. Let me add it to my cart for Christmas stuff. And then I went, and they were all gone. And I'm like, well, I guess there's like 15 people in Canada at least who just watched Richard's thing today.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That was a really sharp little game. I'm ashamed that I sat on it for so long without covering it. I'm trying to think of one. Okay, pretty much everything I can think of I've covered. And if you're as big a super fan as you say, you've probably heard of all of them.
One. Just one that it's always in your go bag, and nobody ever knows what it is.
Go bag is a meaningless term for me because once I've filmed it, the game disappears. It falls off the face of the earth because there's 50 games in the queue I got to cover. So it'd be more about, well, what would go in such a go bag if I were to make good on my threats to retire and make you very sad. I really liked Coldest Night. I think came out a couple of years ago. It's a little card game. We're in a cabin. We're freezing to death. Our cards are stuff that we can throw onto the bonfire. We can't tell each other what's each other's hand. It's excellent. It is. If you like that, ever since Hanabi popularized cooperative games where you can't tell people what's in your hand, or, well, in Hanabi's case, people can't tell you what's in your hand. But, imperfect communication, Coldest Night is very, very cool. Alchemidius is a really neat little one as well. That is where alchemists, basically, as part of setup, you shuffle up a deck, you put out a grid of cards that are all kinds of, convert 5s into 3s. And, if you have any 4s, double the number of them you have. And so you get all these different, basically, equation snippets. And then you start with some dice, and you have to convert all of your regular copper dice into gold dice by as fast as you can in real time, running them through this, finding as fast as you can an equation dice out of this random collection of cards. It's really neat, quite unlike anything else I've ever seen, and it's just good brain exercise. Kind of in the same way Codename is, actually, quite frankly, because that's really good to force you to think and try to create connections that just aren't immediately apparent. Sure, a couple. Oh, is the show over?
No, it's just I had to switch out my headphones.
Okay. Do I have to repeat all that?
No, I got the gist.
Yeah. What about Shea? What was Shea's hidden gem?
Oh, let's see. I mean, I usually, we were talking about it in the R&R show that I was in, but I always push people towards Ganymede.
Oh, yes, that's a good one.
Which I really like. It's a great, really quick engine builder. It's just sort of like, it's really smart, and it plays really fast, but it gives you, room for these really satisfying combos. So I really like that. And the art is kind of beautiful and weird, which is the combo that I'm like, is my favorite combo in any art that anyone wants to make. Beautiful and weird.
It's polygon style art, right? If I recall. Yeah.
Yeah. But the other one that I always really like talking about is Nanga Parbat. This is a game I covered this on. He's about to grab it, I guess.
Either that or somebody's at the door, I guess.
But yeah,
beautiful.
There you go,
I bought this
right there.
Rahdo.
Well, you bought it because of Shea, because he's the one who covered it.
You mean because of me?
Was it you? It was somebody.
It was me?
No, I think it was in a roundup. I don't think it was the playthrough.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
because Richard was like, his trilogy of games is on Kickstarter, and then I watched, and then I went to look at all three, and this was the only one that looked interesting to me. But keep going, Shea.
It was the best one of them, yeah.
So that game is a 2-player only game. It's about like you're hikers and you're going up. You're being led by Sherpas essentially up this mountain, Nanga Parbat, and the game itself is, if anyone knows what advanced tic-tac-toe is, it's basically like 9 games of tic-tac-toe within a larger grid of tic-tac-toe. It's a similar kind of thing where you choose, like, there's this pyramid, and within the pyramid there's 6 smaller pyramids, and so you choose a spot on the pyramid, and that determines where the next player has to place like which section of the pyramid they have to place, and so they keep going. When you're placing your little hikers down, you're getting these animals. You trade them in for little powers. It's a quick game, but it's like whip smart. There is very little room for error.
Also, you really got to pay attention to what the other person's doing
love it
too, because a couple of times I'm like, I figured this out. I'm going, and then I wasn't paying attention to how many animals were being collected. And then right at the end of the game, I'm like, here we go, bam. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, for my last turn, I'm going to get 6 points for this. I'm going to get 6 points for these. I'm just like, oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, no, I lost by a lot. Okay, now I got to think about how do I sell these animals. That gets points. Yeah, there's a billion ways to make points. Yeah.
It has a really interesting... What I really like about it is the scoring system, like you're talking about. There's a bunch of different ways you can score, and then when you score in a specific way, the other player cannot score that way again.
Amount of points,
or cannot score that way. So it's like for that amount of points. Well, but like Yeah. Because you can take the lesser amount. So it's like if I have 5 animals of the same type, I can turn those in and get a lot of points. And now even if they have 5 animals of the same type, they can only get the 4 animals of the same type thing. But on top of that, there's the score tracker, and you're never tied. After like once you get out of 0-0, you're never tied, so you're leapfrogging. So a lot of times it's about maneuvering your score so that like I'm only going to get 3 points from this, but I'm actually going to get 4 points from this because of
and
exactly
I love that
where
when
they
I
are.
win, and I think it's the worst rule ever when I lose. It's like this isn't fair. I haven't played Capitals.
It's a very heavy SimCity building
That's
style
why.
game.
Yeah, I'm not.
Probably one of maybe the heaviest of them, quite
Yeah,
frankly.
the only SimCity game I will play is Suburbia, but it's not my go-to.
Suburbia is nice, but for me, Subdivision has always been the superior
yeah?
game, and I am very alone in that. Subdivision was the sequel to Suburbia, and everybody wanted it to be Suburbia 2, and it very much wasn't, and so it very quickly got rode out of town. Nobody cared for it, but I still think it's absolutely amazing. One of the best SimCity style games out there.
Yeah, Pete. I at first thought Capital, which I'm like the one that was Warsaw before. Or is it Warsaw now and it used to be Capital?
Yes, it became Warsaw. It used to be.
But that's not the Capitals. That's a different game.
Yeah, the Capitals is yeah. Man, I can't even get my head around it. It's been a few years since I played it. It's no surprise Paulo loves it so much because his brain is hardwired for Vita artist style stuff.
We were talking about that in our tech run because it's like I have CO2 and Vinos and Gallerist, and I love those. I feel like I should pick up Kanban EV because that seems like a game I would like, but I'm watching Weather Machine, and I've been going back to play. Can you do a run through for I've been watching playthroughs, and I can.
I would happily do it.
Even Naveen and God, why do I always forget her name? Monique.
Monique and Naveen.
Monique and Naveen's playthrough. I'm watching that, and I'm like, either I'm trying to like a game that I don't like, or I can't get the feel of this game through these people because it's one or the other. I have a feeling it's just you just don't like this game and you want to. That's the only thing that's happening right now.
That's a tricky thing whenever you come across that. Like, there's the one game that always triggers that for me is Dice Throne. Because like everyone raves about Dice Throne, and like I love the art of it. It's this like Yahtzee style like head-to-head battler, and seems like it's something I would like. And every time I've played it, I'm just like, it's all right.
Well, that's like I watch it and it's like
for me.
And
I was like, I want to like it.
Okay, it's Battle Yahtzee. That's cool. I like that. And then again, I got hit today with an email saying this is the last day you can back Marvel Dice Throne. And I'm like, well, maybe my kids will like this, so maybe I do back it. I don't know, but it's like I have my Yahtzee. For anybody who likes dice games and Yahtzee, I'll play Viva Java, the coffee game, the dice game, which is Grant. Grant's got his own channel on the YouTube. Just YouTube Grant Lyon. Unfortunately, Rahdo's not. He's not one of my mods, so he can't post.
Did I try to hack the stream?
He can't post links. But you should definitely check out Grant Lyon. Friends of mine at Punchboard Paradise got to play Weather Machine. I really want to like it, and so I might end up backing it just because of my want to like it. But everything in my body is like, no, you're just not gonna like this game. Don't try and force it.
You'll be able to flip it easy
there's
enough
that too.
if you don't like it.
What were we talking about just before that? Because I had something for that. I can't remember. Maybe it'll come back. Grant. We were talking about Dice Game. I was playing Viva Java, the coffee game, the dice game, which is just a hilariously long name for no reason. But that one's my favorite Yahtzee variant because basically it's Yahtzee with tech trees. And so instead of rolling, so you have your 5 dice and you roll them and you're trying to make coffee blends. It's really cool. Except you can only roll once because the ability to re-roll is a power that you would need to gain on a tech tree. Being able to change one of your dice up or down a value is a power you can gain from your tech tree. And so you have to make the decision of, am I going to put these dice into my brew to gain points, or am I going to spend my coffee beans to up my levels on my tech trees to give myself more powers when I roll these dice? But for all intents and purposes, it's Yahtzee. Yeah, so I have that one. But everything else, where it's especially head-to-head battle stuff, we have Star Realms, and that's pretty much the only thing we keep where it's like straight up, like trying to take damage from each other. So again, dice thrown, that's all it is. You're just rolling dice at each other till someone's dead. And you're like, okay. What about you, Grant?
So many friends of mine love it.
Why? Have they articulated?
I mean, if you like the core conceit of it, then the amount of matchups that you can get and like the way that different characters work against each other is interesting. But if you don't get behind like the base game of it, then there's not much like it. Then just changing it up is not going to do much for you. So I think what people really like about it is the variety, because it is it is different every time you play. All the characters that I've seen are very different from each other. I think like it's impressive in that sense. I don't know. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have games like that, right? I mean, I think Wingspan is a good game. I don't really care about playing it that much, and I get why people like it. It has very little player interaction, and we might as well be all doing our own thing, and that's just not my game,
Yeah,
I mean, you're describing a lot of Euro games
of
right
my
now.
favorite games.
Well, it's true though. But like, that's why I love Champions of Midgard way more than I love like Agricola, right? Like, I need something. I love like the worker placement Euros, but it's got to be mixed with something else.
Yeah.
Because if it's just that like Euro, I'm like, this is too boring for me.
Yeah. Actually, here is a very unprofessional poll that you are now going to take that you're going to participate in. How do you feel about Terraforming Mars?
I have never played it.
Where's the poll?
I'm not going to put the poll up because first of all, I don't know how to do it. My mouse do that. I don't know how anything works. But what we've noticed is you either really, really, really like Wingspan and Terraforming Mars is okay, or you love Terraforming Mars and Wingspan is okay. Because when it comes down to it, the base of the game is exactly the same, and then Wingspan goes, you start at the same place, and then Wingspan does this with it, and Terraforming Mars does that with it. So it's like the main mechanism is, hey, here's a deck of 500 cards that are all different, and you need to build an engine out of them. And the way Wingspan builds that engine is different than how Terraforming Mars does it, but when it comes down to it, here are 500 individual cards that you will need to figure out an engine from your hand.
I'm more interested in the Ares expedition than I am the original game.
I have that, and I haven't been able to table it yet. I'm really excited to play it. I heard.
Oh, you'll get to the table really easy. I mean, it takes place in a third of the time. Really easy to play. Terraforming Mars is great. My problem with it really has nothing to do with the game. It's just, I wish I couldn't pull down asteroids and blow up your shit. and also, the player scaling is just horrible. Because if you're going to play it as a two-player game, you literally have to do twice as much work. If you look, you're on Board Game Geek and look at people taking pictures post-game. If you look at a two-player game, each player played like 50 cards out in front of them. It's ridiculous. And it feels like we should have been done a long time ago. And yet we have to keep playing and playing, because if 4 players were there, I would have only had to do a quarter of the work.
I do think that appeals to a different type of like engine building gamer though, because I know a lot of I have a lot of friends who, when it comes to engine builders, what I think the often accepted opinion in the critical community is that you want a game that like just lets you get going and then cuts it off, before you like go too hard on
before it overstays
But
its welcome.
I know a lot of people. Yeah, but I know a lot of people who, when they play games like that, they feel like that's too early. They want to have a few rounds where they have ridiculous snowballs.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And two-player Terraforming Mars does kind of get you that.
Yeah, but you're doing that on purpose. That's one of the things I don't like about Terraforming Mars. It's one of the reasons why I don't play it nearly as much. Is the table controls that pace. So if your game group plays games the way you like to play games, then you're going to have a fun time with Terraforming Mars. But it is one of the games where the end of the game is as near or as far as the table wants it to be. Because you don't have to terraform Mars if you don't want to. And if you're like, I'm really digging this card collection. I really like building up my engine. So maybe I don't raise the temperature on Mars for a while. If somebody else wants to do it, then cool. But I'm not gonna end game trigger this. I'm having a good time. And I've had some really long games because somebody really liked how their cards were connecting. And it's like, that's not for me. And again, Paulo's the same thing. He's like, I love Terraforming Mars. It's in my top 10 of all time. Wingspan is fine.
I don't know. I do like both. I think I'd pick Terraforming Mars over Wingspan, but I do really like Wingspan. The problem for me with Wingspan...
Wingspan.
It's a fine game.
When someone's like, I really want to play it, I'm like, it's fine, but I won't ever suggest it.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And here's the thing. I have played a game of Wingspan. I think I played it with what's the maximum count? 5, maybe? I played it at its maximum player count, and I think that's not good. But I think you should play that game at 3.
For the most part.
Because we had
for the most part
too many people.
I found that
it took way too long.
This isn't obviously there are outliers, but I think every game I play, I try to aim for one less than the maximum. That always seems to be the sweet spot for most games. Except Grand Austria Hotel, which is a 2-player game. The end.
They fixed it.
They
with the
didn't
expansion.
fix nothing. They said you could try to keep track of whose turn it is in the expansion. You know what? I haven't played. I refuse to play with more than 2, so I'm just going off of playthrough. But I'm like, I don't think this solution solves anything. But it might. It might.
It got rid of the snake.
I'd say
people take a normal amount of time now per round, instead of you having to wait for player 2, 3, 4, and then 4, 3, 2 before you get to go again. That's what everybody had a problem with.
Forever.
I mean, I have to admit, that's a meaningless distinction for me because I only play a games 2-player, and it's one of the reasons I'm always quick to tell people not to pay attention to my opinions because they're 100% formatted only towards 2-player gameplay, and I have no idea I could take a guess as to what these things would be like at higher player counts, but I don't know, and I never will know, and I don't care.
And I have the same caveat. I'm nerd incorrect. I'm never right about my opinions. So if I don't like the game you like, don't worry about it. I'm wrong. An example of what Shea is saying is Keyflower. That one ends way too soon, and you don't. 100%. That's why Keyflower got sold. Keyflower. Every time I play it, I'm like, oh, if I had one more turn, I wouldn't have felt like a failure. 100%.
That means you should have done everything one turn sooner.
Yeah, but I couldn't because I didn't have the resources. That's another one of those games.
That's the problem you face when you're flowering the key.
I think that's another one where it's like there's a few games that are like if you get to play this a few times more and figure it out.
Here's one that falls into both things that we were talking about. A game that people don't know about that I think is really dope, and a game that I know some people I've heard say the engine ends too quickly, but I don't agree, is Mechanica. I love that game.
That's a cool little engine builder. Yeah, totally. Although that's going to be the same kind of thing that they're talking about that, oh boy, I wish I had 2 more rounds.
That's what I mean. I was like, I've heard people say that, and I guess I get what they're saying, but I didn't feel like it was, I felt like I could do a lot, still in the game. Yeah. I think that's I really love that game, and I don't hear anybody talk about it.
I can't even think of
I've never played this.
The box art.
It's a really unique game. It's really great how they bring the box into the game itself because there's you have the spinning rondelle and here's your drafting tiles. Eventually, if they spin long enough, they will literally fall through a hole and just go into the cavernous box. It's really nice production. The robots, that you're manufacturing are
I've
really
seen
crappy.
this box.
Paula Deming
Yeah.
featured this game in a video not too long ago. Yeah, it looks cool. I haven't tried it. So for me, the sweet spot for an engine builder is always like, I want my combo, like I want to hit some really cool combo at least once, like preferably twice. I want to be able to do something really cool in a game. I want a big turn. I always want a big turn in an engine builder. And if it feels like I just at the end of it got to a point where, like, oh, okay, I'm finally treading water, and now the game's
The
over.
most recent
then
one
I'm
that made
unsatisfied.
me feel super, super great that way was Furnace.
I
was we were talking about this earlier. Where I'm just absolutely digging it. It's super dry, sure, but oh my god,
I mean, Furnace falls into that like perfect to me, where it's like a game with a ton of strategy that can play in under an hour. Like that, I don't have the patience to play a 4-hour thing. Like, but right there, I mean, Furnace feels like it comes with a lot of big decisions, and yet it's like it plays really.
My
quickly.
caveat with Furnace and this game, London is my favorite of the engine builder games where you're gonna have a big turn. I love
London is
London.
fantastic.
But with Furnace, the caveat for I tell everybody to buy Furnace, and then I also have to tell them that this is a game that the rules are simple to understand. You're not going to understand what you're doing, and so you have to play it twice, which sucks. That first game, your first.
Yeah.
So you're suggesting Furnace as a gateway
I'm saying,
game.
Richard, the main people I play Furnace with right now are my 10 and 13-year-old. They're the ones who play the most. And once we got through that first game where they had no idea why they were doing things, once we got to the second round, they started being able to figure out how they should plan. And by the time we finished the first game, they figured out how they should have played their first round. And now when we play it, they're highly competitive with me. It's a game that I can teach to everybody, but they do have to have the patience. I have to tell them up front, just do the actions, go through the motions. You are not going to understand what to do or why to do it until you actually play. I could try to explain it to you. It's going to frustrate you and make the rules teach way too long. But trust me, by the time we finish this first game, you're going to know exactly what you should have done in your first round, and you're going to enjoy the game from that point forward. That being said, it's one of those games that I only ever suggest to people who are going to be playing with me right now. It's not a Christmas gift. Don't buy...
Because you can bring the fun,
and
the
I
game
can
does
bring
not
that caveat where I'm like, while people are frustrated in round one because they don't know what to bid on or why to bid on it or what they should be doing or in what order they should be doing it, during that round while they're frustrated, I can go, it doesn't matter. This game doesn't count. Right now, I'm just showing you what is going to happen. By the time we're in our third round, we could scrap it and start, and you'll feel way better about yourself on the second game. But yeah, it was... The first time I played it, I'm like, I play board games and I have no idea why I should do something, and it's not clear why I should do something. I wish that Furnace had come with like a tutorial mode where it flopped, and maybe there is one and I just didn't notice, but there should be an initial flop. Of 7 cards. It's like, start with these 7 cards. This should be your first market.
No, there's no tutorial, but you don't play with the special ability cards.
I don't like that idea either. I'm like, no, play with the special.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's always weird. Hey, let's make it easier on you by taking away special abilities, which means as a player, you have no idea what to do. You have nothing giving you any kind of gentle guiding hand. Yeah. Well, okay, I don't know what to do, but this is my ability, so at least I'll do that. That always strikes me as weird when publishers say, oh, turn that off. It's too complicated. And do you realize how hard it is to play your game without that? I mean,
yeah.
Jesus.
But and again, because it's so fast, and I have so much confidence in how good that third and fourth round feel. Once you're like, oh, I got oil and this coal and this steel because I need the oil and the gears to make another oil, to make another steel, and then these 3 steels are going to net me 5 points. But because I've still got a technology, that's going to give me another 5 points on this card. And I got to remember to upgrade this technology because this round I'm going to get 6 coal, which will help me then get another oil drum, which will get me another 5 points over here. And it's like, I love that. I love that stuff. But very dry game. It is accounting 101. The restriction on how to place the factories you get is a must, though. Not with the people I'm playing. I think that would kill the game for most of the people that I play with. Once you place a factory, that's where it lives. That variant.
Oh,
like that,
yeah. No, that's
asking
cool.
way
But
too
yeah,
much.
that's advanced algebra right there.
To be Furnace, I think that Furnace doesn't need the special abilities at all. That may be true, but we really have fun with the special abilities. I think it makes everybody feel like they're good at this one thing. Grant, have you heard of 1906 San Francisco? Paulo thinks you might like that.
As a game, no, I've heard of the tragedy, the earthquake, and the fire that wiped out San Francisco, but...
That's right. You read books with history. I recall
that.
I was a history major in college and stuff.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I had no idea.
Yeah. I'm a big history guy.
What were you thinking with that major?
I have a framed copy of the Gettysburg Address on my wall. Ooh. So,
what was your plan with that particular diploma you were working towards? What was that going to translate to?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I had a plan. I went to college,
and you just loved history.
Well, I did. And I still do. I went to college, and I got recruited to play college soccer and stuff. So I partly went.
Oh, that's right. I remember. Yeah.
For that.
Tim clearly hates history because he's.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, that's it.
So I don't know that I really, I don't think I had a plan for after college. I was a double major in college. I was environmental science and history. And those were just like the 2 things I liked. And, I think then maybe at some point I was like, maybe I'll do soccer. And then I started doing stand-up when I was like a sophomore in college. And I was like, oh, this is the thing, this is the thing I want to do. So by the time I was like a senior, I knew that was like already what I was gonna pursue or whatever.
Oh, so you did finish it? Or did you?
No, I finished college because I grew up in a family where I'm now the only person that doesn't have a master's degree.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I mean, if I hadn't finished my undergrad, I don't think it would have been acceptable, And I didn't have the courage to not do that at that point. So, yeah.
All right. So since y'all get sent cool games to try out, I think the last question will be, what is up? What is coming up that everybody needs to keep their eyes on?
Like a new game?
Yeah. Of the games that you got sent that you have to play with your roommates. Which one should people have their eye on?
I'm really liking Coco Pelli right now. Is that a surprise?
Yeah, that surprises me.
Why is that?
I'm just not interested in it, and it's just like, and it's from somebody I like, but now it's like, now I have to be reinterested in it.
Well, it is. It does not look like it's.
That's the thing.
You would not.
It's
it's not a Feld game in any.
It's the lightest Feld game probably ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's done a kids game, a couple kids games actually, but yeah, it is. But I mean, it is one of his most interactive games.
Yeah.
So obviously, based on what you said before, it's a no-brainer for you. It is the antithesis of let's just sit and do our advanced calculus and tend to our own little calculus garden for 2 hours.
There's a ton of player interaction, and
you are all in each other's business the whole game.
Yeah, and I also just like
Thanks.
I just like
Oopsie.
I like card combinations, and Coco Pelli is just all about card combos.
Yeah.
So I've been, I've played it 4 or 5 times, so far, and I've enjoyed it and it's also, for me, it's like a game I still like. There are plenty of games where you play once and you're like, okay, I get how to win this, right? Where that's like a game that I still feel like I'm figuring out the nuances of the best combinations and the timing of it and that sort of stuff. So I've been enjoying
All
it.
right. Well, now you're gonna make me break my oath because I just cannot get myself to buy Queen games.
Yeah. I'm not saying
They're the only company that I'm just like, I just can't with you guys. Your boxes look like crap on my shelf. They're overpriced and they're over big.
Well, the 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 box for Cocoa Belly is over big and literally one of the worst inserts I've ever had in a.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actively confusing.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's awful, but the game's very fun, I think.
And actually, it's interesting too. I mean, it does not play like any other Feld game. It does not look like any other Queen game
Yeah.
as well. I mean, it's very bright. If you looked at it set up, you'd think, oh, you're going to play some kind of party game. It looks more like that.
Yeah, it looks
than
like
a
it looks
traditional...
like, oh, there's a reskinning of 6 Nimt. Shea, because actually Paulo's in here with Hegemony and Resurgence, both on Kickstarter right now, and I'm backing both of them, but I'm slowly thinking of dropping my Hegemony pledge.
It's a big old beast to bite off. I mean, it requires real commitment from players.
That's what's throwing me off of it, because it's like, I know I'll play it, but can I find 3 other people who will also play it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It definitely seems like one of those games that you want to play at its max player count, right?
Yep. Well, as I understand it, they did hit all their stretch goals to unlock Automa, so you can get the full experience at lower player counts, which means you'll be able to play it faster as well. Because, I mean, I cannot imagine. I mean, I think I saw somebody did a 3-hour stream of a full 4-player game.
Yeah,
I am too old for that.
I don't want to be playing a game.
Yeah.
But it is a brilliant game, and I think it's an important game, and I'm really happy that it's done so well. And I'm so sad that Resurgence is just scraping by, and I'm not quite sure why.
Stan just posted 48 hours after it launched, it finally met its funding, and it's slowly creeping up. And he's like, now you can see him all these stretch goal ideas he had. He's just like, you know what, we're just gonna reel these in and have them sooner and just put them in because we want the game to be good. But it's feeling like at the rate that it's building right now, it's got that feeling of I'm worried that in 3 days I'm getting an email saying we're canceling this and we're going to relaunch in the new year. Because it's not, first of all, it's blowing my mind how nobody's it's not getting any traction. And it's like, what were the last 5 hits not enough for you guys? Like, it's not like Stan's been like on a downslope. We just did Endless Winter, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and it was a monster hit. I mean, anytime a first-time publisher does anything on Kickstarter, they have no built-in audience, so it's an uphill battle. I mean, if he sees it through and just, barely gets by with 60 or 70,000, and it's a little moderate success, and then a year later he says, okay, here's the expansion. And by the way, you can get the game. He'll do $500,000 or he'll do $250,000 easy, because everybody say, oh, look, he actually did publish it. And people Rahdo wasn't lying. It is actually really cool. And then people will catch on the second one. You see that happen a lot.
I got my fingers
games.
crossed that he sticks it. Well, I don't know. Because I know I'm going to be following him anyway. So it's like, do I cross my fingers that he produces it at this at less than he wanted to, what his dreams were, or does he cancel it and I just help him out in the new year and other people are there? Because, I mean, that's what happened with Rurik, too. Like, their first Kickstarter was okay. It was a moderate success. But then when they did the expansion, it was explosive. Because everyone had finally realized how incredibly cool that design is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I expect you to see the same here. I mean, Endless Winter did so well, probably less because of Stan's name and more because people were excited by whatever the publisher was putting up next. Who was that? That Final Frontier Games? I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, no, I have to look.
Paulo, if you haven't played Rurik yet, just that whole planning mechanism phase is so incredibly fun.
Fantasia.
You have to play Apollo, at least to try that mechanic, because that's what I was trying to explain Rourke to somebody, and I was like, it's Blood Rage if you played Furnace first. But yeah, Shea, what should we be looking out for?
Let's see. A game that I just played on the channel last month, I guess. A game called Circadian's
from
Chaos
the First
Order.
Light people?
Yeah, you like that.
Yeah, Garfield Games, and I really like this, but it took me a little while to get to where I actually really liked it. So what it is like it's an area control game where it's an alien world and you've got very asymmetrical player factions, and you're playing the same game, but they have all the player powers and stuff, but they also have score trackers, and each faction scores in completely different ways. But on top of that, there's this really interesting action selection mechanic, or not action selection because everyone's has the opportunity to do all the same actions, but everyone at the beginning of each round prices each action. I've got these tiles that are going to set the price for one of the 5 main actions. So I put one of those down, and then each person places another one. And so when you do the action that you priced, you do it for free. But when you do the actions other people priced, sometimes you're paying to the bank, sometimes you're paying them. It's a really interesting mechanic in that way. And it really comes together when you have 3 or more players.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that great at 2. But with 3 or more, it's really, really
Very cool.
So I really like that one.
And Rahdo, with the most sneak peeks out of all of us, what should we be keeping an eye out for?
Not as many as I used to. Not now that I'm not in Europe anymore and I can't get to Essen. I'm scrabbling like everybody else trying to get a copy of Gollum or
That's one.
or,
Gollum is another
Corrosion
one where
or-
I'm like, I want to play this game, but every time I see it on a table, I'm like, I don't know if I want to learn this.
Yeah. But okay, we were just talking about Furnace and how, it does so much with so little. Terra Futura is a similar game. It's very different. It's not an auction game. It's a tile laying game, but it's a quick little 30-minute game that is tension-filled from start to finish. You're trying to basically make, a perfect nation of the future. You're basically making a 3x3 grid of cards. Every round, there's 8 cards to choose from. You grab one, you add it to your city, and the game is over once everybody has made their little 3x3 grid. The thing is, every time you put one of these cards down, you activate it and every card that's in the same row and column. And so it is a game that starts off very slow. I put my first card down, and I activate a couple things, but then the next card I activate 3 things. Next turn I activate 4 things. Turn after that I activate 5 things. Turn after that I activate 5 things. Turn after that, I could activate 5 things, but this card is dead now because all these cards are either generating the basic goods that a society needs, energy and building materials and stuff like that, or they are converting them into the things people want, consumer goods and food and whatnot. And you're just trying really hard with only 9 cards to get as many double, triple, quadruple actions. Okay, I put this down. That's going to give me the food over there that I can slip over there, and that's going to give me the thing. And at the beginning of the game, you are given 2 cards, one of which, and on each card, there's 2 end goals where, I'll get a lot of points if I get this combination, if I build this combination of things, or this combination of things. But the cards also have after the game is over, after you've made your 3x3 grid, you pick one card or the other to say, okay, I'm going to activate these particular cards. I'll get to activate the one in the top left twice, the one in the middle once, and the one in the bottom right once. I'm going to activate these 4. So right from the beginning of the game, you are trying to build your grid to get the most out of it every single turn, but you're also trying to build it so when you get that final super turn that it's perfect, that you put... And you had to make decisions from turn 1 that will come into play at the end of the game. And I was really surprised. Again, it feels akin to Furnace because it's a simple little game. You can teach the rules like that, but from start to finish, what am I going to do? And it's just from a little publisher nobody's ever heard of. I was very impressed by it. My video for it will go up, I think, by the end of the week.
I'm excited.
So I'm really keen on it.
That sounds very, very cool. Paulo came in and said Gollum is Grand Austria on steroids. Which makes me want to play it again.
Oh, wow.
Brian Ashman wants Welcome to the Moon, which just released at Essen. I don't know anything about this game.
Yeah. It's a sequel of Welcome 2, but it turns Welcome 2 into more of a gamer's game, I believe.
I've been talking to them because I'm doing that retail series, and they don't think it's probably going to come out to North America till like January, though.
Oh, Crusher of Dreams.
Look at you. And for me, the very, very last thing, because it's sitting in my cart that I'm waiting to see if another game comes in before I hit send. Juicy Fruits.
Oh, that's lovely. That is a nice
I've only heard
game.
good things, and the playthroughs look really, really good. But I'm like, is this going to be one of those games where everybody's like, this is really cool, I really like this, and then everybody forgets about it in a year? Or is this one of those where you're like, this is actually pretty, there's something here?
Well, it doesn't matter. People forget about it if it's still fun.
That's not true. But because then it's harder for me to convince people, because there's a bunch of games that I absolutely love.
Okay. All right.
That are in my collection, and then again, that's why I'm nerd incorrect. There's like people come over and they look at stuff, and I'm like, and they're.
What's an example of one of those that it's clearly awesome, and yet you can't get people to play it because people think it's tired and old?
They've just never heard of it. Give me a second.
Right. Run back over. Run. In your socks.
Pulsar 2849 to the table is tough.
Pulsar 2849 is fantastic. There it is, right there on my shelf.
Mundus Novus.
Oh, that's a good one. Juicy Fruits is a Mundus Novus.
So Mundus Novus.
If that's what you're worried about, you have Mundus Novus is the perfect poster child for exactly the brilliant little game, gorgeous game, one of the early Vincent Dutrait art games before anybody knew who he was. Super sharp little game and forgotten. And I can see why. Really? That came out in 2013? Why should I care? Because it was good then, it's good now.
Makes me frustrated the most. I have Glenmore. I love Glenmore. I love Matthias Kramer. I've got a bunch of his games. But the one that I want to play all the time and nobody ever wants to play is Craftwagon. And I'm like, I will play Craftwagon 10 times before I play Glenmore once. And they're, because again, they're the same thing. It's the same thing with Wingspan and Terraforming Mars. We're starting here. One game goes here with it. One game goes there with it. And I'm like, I think where Craftwagon takes that idea is more interesting than where Glenmore takes it.
Perhaps if you pronounced it correctly, Craftwagen, that would get people more
Craftwagen, the V8 edition.
How foreign sounding.
But yeah, that's another one that I'm like, I wish I can get that to the table. And then just nobody ever wants to learn London, so I only ever play with my buddy Jason. But I'm like, London is such an incredible game. Everyone should be playing it.
Yep. Did you try the second edition?
I got the second edition. I had both, and I had both for a while. And then after the third time of playing the second edition, I realized that I prefer the second edition, and we ended up selling the first one. I didn't think so. I'm like, I don't want to get rid of this board. This board's the best. And then after a couple of times with the second edition, I'm like, I kind of don't want to play with the board anymore. It's kind of clunky.
Yeah, I mean, the board ultimately just becomes, it's an extra step you have to do every once in a while.
Grant is about to leave because we're all about to leave. Yeah. So Grant Lyon, go follow Grant everywhere. You can follow Grant. Grant's Game Rex. No. I've got kids at a house 30 minutes from here that need me to get back there. So we are going to wrap up. Grant, where can people find you? What have you got going on?
Just, if you go to GrantLyon.com, you can find links to everything else. That's an easy way to do it.
And it's Lyon with a Y. Yep. You should probably point that out.
That's true. Yeah. Grant Lyon with a Y. Go there. Find me on different things.
Yeah, and definitely find him. He's the best. Shea Parker, where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/RTFM show. If you Google or if you do a YouTube search for RTFM, there's 2 channels, and unfortunately, the one with more subscribers is not mine.
No!
Yeah, it's this guy who does a channel about a soccer video game.
What?
And for him, RTFM... No, for him, RTFM is run the foot market, whatever that's supposed to mean.
No.
He's got 2 channels, and both of them are bigger than mine. It makes me so mad. So to spite him, subscribe to my channel.
Do it now.
It's the one with the hexagon. So I teach complicated games in an entertaining way on RTFM, and I also do run-throughs on Rahdo's channel as well. Those. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I don't know why you would, but
Shea Says Words.
Twitter.com. It's Shea Says Words, yeah, or RTFM show.
Or that one.
I barely ever tweet.
Before you go, I have to say, your vampire impersonation from that recent unboxing video haunts my dreams.
God, that's funny. Thank you. That's I make.
It was the combination of the hiss with the mustache coming. It was blood curdling.
Speaking of mustache, I hope Richard Ham is at least. You've got to keep the mustache at least for a couple of shows, just so you can say, I'm trying to beat Grant Lyon's mustache, and have everybody else weigh in on who's wearing it better.
I mean, I don't think mine can be beat. This thing's ridiculous.
Yep, it is out of control.
You're getting like close to like Jamie Heineman or whatever his name was from Mythbusters. You're getting there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I could keep it. It has a mind of its own. For sure.
And last but not least, Rahdo, Richard Ham, where can people find you?
At rahdo.com. rahdo.com is my YouTube channel where you will find, what have I done? I almost 2,000 games I've run through over the last decade. And hopefully you'll find one or two you might like.
Definitely will. And thank you guys for doing this. It has been a blast. And as was pointed out, it's another Monday where I lost track of time. There's people that I want to hang out with, Brian. And I'm glad you guys stuck around and enjoyed that as well. We're going to go see Bonds because she's the only one on my raid right now that I can that I'm like, okay, let's do that. And so, yeah, there's that. You can catch us here Mondays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. You can help support us at Nerd Incorrect on Patreon. But more importantly, just come hang out here with us and it'd be fun. The end. And follow all these amazing people that were there tonight. Love your faces. Get on the raid train. Here we go. Say hi to Bonds. Let her know that you're coming from here. Let her know that you had a blasty blast. And more importantly, if you're not already following her, follow her. When we get there, I want to see her follow counts go up. And also, her alerts for when you follow and subscribe are some of the best on Twitch. So do that so you can watch that. Love your faces. I will see you on Thursday. Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, Tim.
Bye.
Bye.
And the raid should have gone now. And that's it. We should be out.
Yep.
Thank you guys again so much. Shea, we're friends on Facebook, right? No, it's just because we have a secret Codenames group.
You can contact me on Messenger, but
we do like
I
tournaments and other
refuse
stuff.
to use Facebook.
So it's just easier to contact people. However, I will just email you guys if you'd like to be back on the show at some point, if you had a good time. But I had a blasty blast, and thank you guys for doing this. Grant, as always, love your face.
Yeah. I had fun and good to see. Nice to see you again, Richard. Nice to meet you, Shea.
Yeah.
Yep.
This was a lot of fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Good
I
night.
cannot wait to see your full show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I'll bring it. I'm doing it in Oregon